What the heck?
Did you see what Cal Raleigh said to the crowd? Apparently, he said it in the dugout, and they caught him last night. So now when they interviewed him on the field, because the Mariners clinched and he hit 60, and he said, "Well, I guess I'll have to say it again. We might as well go win the whole effing thing." Only he didn't say effing.
Nice.
I know I'm the only person in America that would love a Seattle-Milwaukee World Series, but
Well, and I'd take a Seattle San Diego World Series.
there you go.
I'm with you on Milwaukee or San Diego, and I'm fine with it.
Yep, I'd be fine.
Guarantee first time. Well, I don't know if the Brewers never won it, have they?
No, they've only been in one as the
Right.
Brewers, 82.
Certainly looking that way, Mac. The way he's hitting them right now, but the Dodgers come in, it might be a little different, but wow, EB, I've got to be honest with you. I mean, we're seeing historic stuff, and your head goes, are they doing steroids? I mean, wow. Wow. We are a cynical society.
Well, EB, this type of season came out of nowhere, but it was kind of like, Maris won the MVP in 60, hitting 39 homers, I think. And then the next year he hit 61. I don't know if Maris had any other year where he hit 40 or more home runs.
Hey, Ruth hit 28 and then hit 50. Was he juicing?
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floormeister Studios. Floormeisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Top of the morning to you on this Thursday after quite the night in sports. We got it all going on today. Hold on one second. How the heck are you? Miller and Moulton. MillerandMoulton.com. Miller_Moulton on X. Top of the morning to you, Mark. How are you?
Good morning, David. Doing well. It was one of those nights, and obviously I'm not up for SportsCenter anymore, and people don't watch SportsCenter the way they once did. But it almost felt like last night was a night you needed Berman to host. So there was a little back, because the big guys were hitting bombs last night. Schwarber, the big dumper, Aaron Judge, all going yard and again. Impressive. And as you and I watch our teams just crumble down the stretch, baseball is going to have a hell of a weekend, even though it's going to fight with an amazing college football Saturday, a really good NFL Sunday, and, oh, yeah, the Ryder Cup gets going tomorrow.
Have we become desensitized to the home run? Has the game evolved in such a way? Because, I saw a stat line where if you took the home runs away from Cal Raleigh, he's hitting a $170 and he's got an OPS under 300 but oh yeah, he's got 60 home runs. And then you've got Ohtani, Schwarber, and Judge, who have all hit 50 plus home runs. This is one of only, I think, 4 seasons in which there have been 4 50-plus home run hitters in baseball. Judge is one of just 4 to ever hit 50 or more home runs 4 times in his career. Now 2 are tainted in Bonds and McGuire. Yeah, the other guy's Babe Ruth.
Are we becoming desensitized? I think we've become, whether it's desensitized or cynical towards a lot of things in sports, and fans just expect greatness now. And without it, we complain a lot because we see so much. There is no romanticism really of any sport anymore. We get every highlight instantly, or we're seeing it on X and then we can watch. So I think expectations have become higher from the fan. And us. And I consider myself a fan more than anything else. But I think we have higher expectations now of our sports. Not anything else, but of our sports.
I mean, Kyle Schwarber just has done something that no other hitter in the history of the sport has done. Oh, by the way, he has 56 home runs. That's been done before, although not by a Philly. 23 of them are off left-handed pitching. Schwarber happens to hit left-handed, if you don't know. No one has ever hit that many home runs off of left-handed pitching ever. Not when Bonds hit 73 and McGuire hit 70 and Sosa hit 66 and Maris and Judge and Ruth. Ever. They've been playing baseball a long time, man.
And they've been hitting home runs a long time. I mean, obviously from Ruth to maybe the Mantle and Maris, there weren't a lot of mashers, but from the 50s on, we've been hitting the long ball. That's 70 plus years of mashing the ball, and no one's ever done what Schwarber completed last night.
I mean, I don't know how much he's going to play in the final 4 games of the year because the Mariners clinched the division last night, although they haven't officially clinched the 2 seed, and they can still actually have the best record in the American League. They're just a game behind the 2 teams now tied in the AL East. But, I mean, Cal Raleigh is at 60. Well, can he tie or break Aaron Judge's American League record? Does it matter anymore? But, I mean, he's the only non-Yankee to ever hit 60 or more home runs in the American League. Because the only 3 who have done it are Ruth, Maris, and Judge.
And David, I think he'll play. He may DH more the last few games, but guys don't want to take days off. He may get a day off, but the fact of the matter is they're going to have the first round bye, if you will. So I kind of expect him to play all of the games. By the way, aren't they all at home?
Oh, yeah. They finish up with Colorado today, and then they've got 3 against the Dodgers. I got tickets Saturday night. I thought the game was going to have great meaning to at least one of the teams. I thought I would see Ohtani and Raleigh. They both have nothing to play for.
You still may. I think you're treating this like game 17 in the NFL when teams have clinched playoff spots, and baseball doesn't really operate that way.
I paid a few bucks for these seats. This just in, okay, between the Mariners and Ohtani, that place had like 38 available tickets left. It was not an easy seat. I mean, it's not Miami, Florida State pricing. Let's not get crazy. All right, but it's triple digits. The first number's almost crooked.
Is that the most you've ever paid for a baseball ticket?
Yeah.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah.
by a lot, I would think.
Yeah.
Look at you. Look at you, big spender. Look
That's-
at you go. That ESPN money's coming in handy, isn't it?
It's not that. It's just that, I don't know, maybe as I'm getting older, I am beginning to appreciate certain things more and also wanting to experience more. And plus, I've never been to a Mariners game in Seattle. I've never seen Ohtani play in person. And
That is fantastic for you. And I'm not you're lucky in this regard. You've seen, I think, all the NFL stadiums now.
yes.
You get to go see Washington on Saturday, which by all accounts is just a great place to see a football game on a Saturday.
And not only that, they're playing one of the college football royalty programs in Ohio State. Yeah. I mean, Ohio State doesn't go to Washington that often.
And then obviously now a Mariners game. So all the big stadiums in Seattle, you'll have knocked out, getting 2 of the 3 over the weekend. Good for you. That's fantastic. I think you're going to see both play. I think you are worrying yourself into a tizzy for no reason.
All right. But man, oh man. Schwarber with 2 for 56. Judge with 2 for 51. Raleigh with 2 for 60. Damn.
And we've got 3 teams fighting for 1 wild card spot in the National League. And now it looks like we have 2 teams fighting for 1 spot in the American League.
Man.
And neither of them seem to want it.
The 6 seeds in both leagues, if they're the current teams in the 6 hole, I mean, they're playing so badly. They so both don't deserve a playoff spot that it's almost like you want to petition the league.
Either that or take the money line on both when the playoffs start, because weird things seem to happen.
Yeah, I mean, Tigers could lose out, make the playoffs. They still start Scooble game 1 of a best of 3. Oh, my goodness. But it was a fun night last night in baseball. That's if you're into that sort of thing. If you're only into football, you're like, oh, when will it get here? When will it get here?
It gets here tonight. Divisional game. I mean, this should get people excited.
It's funny, though. 2 2-1 teams, divisional rivals, some exciting players on both teams, and I just don't think either team gets people to go, ooh, Thursday night tonight, I got to watch. I mean, also, with everything that's going on this weekend, if you have to bargain for your TV time, for your stay-at-home time, all right, you may want to give up Seahawks Cardinals, because Saturday and Sunday are awesome.
Yes, they are. In sports, not just baseball tonight, but a football game, and obviously the Ryder Cup gets going with the presser yesterday, or the ceremonies yesterday. Luke Donald sounded eloquent in speaking about the European team, and Keegan Bradley, when talking about a historic U.S. moment, said Justin Rose instead of Justin Leonard.
Right.
Europe 2, USA 0, and we haven't started yet.
Come on. This all means nothing when Bryson hits the first shot of the Ryder Cup and he drives the first green. Come on. Means nothing.
As they wear their suits and tennis shoes to events, the only good thing that came out of it is because Bryson and Xander Schauffele did not have a girlfriend or a wife on their arm, in their case, a girlfriend, while all the couples were holding one another. Bryson and Xander locked arms for the picture. Fantastic.
Miller and Moulton. Not only that, you teased us yesterday with today is apparently a very big Appreciation Day in a bunch of different categories, that we are going to have a bunch of poll questions today, is what you teased us with yesterday. That's a lot of work for you. So,
David, I don't really think it's a poll question, but for you and the wife, it's National Quesadilla Day.
What?
For most of you out there, it's National Psychotherapy Day.
What?
It's National Roadkill Day. So hit something if you can. And it's National One Hit Wonder Day. Miller and Moulton, your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 13325. For over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to NolanAgency.com. That's 941-639-1122 or NolanAgency.com.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available, delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Ryan, thank you. Saw it, but I think I've done better. You're in Kazakhstan, Mac. Excellent. Who wouldn't want to drink vodka at 3:30 in the afternoon? All right. Today is National One Hit Wonder. Oh, he doesn't even have his damn headsets on. He's worthless.
Mac. Should I put my Madagascar t-shirt on while you're in Kazakhstan?
All right, David, I need you here. National One Hit Wonder Day.
Uh-huh.
I have a list of VH1's greatest one-hit wonders.
Dexy's Midnight Runners.
That's number 3. That's definitely going on the list. The number 1, they say, is the Macarena. Number 2 is Tainted Love by Soft Cell. I'm not putting it on the list. I like the song, but I'm not putting it on the list. Right Said Fred, I'm Too Sexy. Mickey, Who Let the Dogs Out? Ice Ice Baby. Take on Me. Rico Suave. And 99 Luft Balloons make up your top 10. Some of the others in the top 20 that I would think of is Baby Got Back. That's really about it. That's the only one I would. And then number 20 is She Blinded Me with Science by Thomas Dolby.
How about Tommy Two-Tone?
Where is Jenny?
8675309?
Number 59 on the list.
Oh, come on. Europe, the final countdown has been
Didn't even make the list.
The Knack with My Sharona.
The Knack had more than that, but
I
they actually did.
Yeah.
Come On Eileen's on there. That's already on the list. I'm going there right now.
Max suggested Redbone, Come and Get Your Love.
What?
I am unfamiliar with that, Max.
I don't know the band or the song. I mean, was that big in the 40s? Sorry, Mac, that's a shot. I'm going to put Ice Ice Baby up there.
My mom suggested In the Year 2525.
Thanks, Mom.
Top of the morning to your mom, and hello again, everybody.
I will, for you, David, put Tommy Two-Tone.
So my wife has heard us Walking on Sunshine, Rock Me Amadeus, The Safety Dance, Don't Worry, Be Happy,
I don't think any of those made the top 100 on this list for what it's worth.
How old was Mickey? Was it yesterday or the day before?
82.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. That last commercial break is a reason to check us out on YouTube, on twitch.tv, the Miller and Moulton channel, because we were going through one-hit wonders and getting your feedback in the various chat rooms.
Here's the key to all of you suggesting songs. Let's make sure it was a hit before you suggest it.
That's true.
Just pointing that out to some. But I have VH1's list of the top 100 greatest one-hit wonders. And the Macarena is listed as the number one-hit wonder.
Huh.
I didn't even think about putting it on my list. I have 3 songs on the poll right now. One that you suggested, Tommy Two-Tone, 867-5309, Jenny. Ice Ice Baby, and Come On Eileen by Dexy's Midnight Runners.
That was the first one I thought of.
And it was the first one I thought of as well. It's number 3 on the list. Tainted Love by Soft Cell is number 2. I am not putting it on the list. I like the song, to be honest with you. That may say a lot about me. But Right Said Fred's I'm Too Sexy is number 4.
Okay.
Mickey by the 82-year-old Tony Basil is number 5.
Was her birthday like yesterday or the day before?
Day before.
I mean, unreal.
The fact that she's older than our mothers shocked the hell out of both Miller and Moulton.
Which means, obviously, when she did that video, she was right around 40.
Right. Who Let the Dogs Out is 6.
All right, hold on. How many of you, when you just heard Mark say that, then quietly or not so quietly went, who? No? I think it was just me.
I think it was just you, but appreciate that. Take On Me by Aha is number 8, and I absolutely hate that song. I hated the video. I was into MTV and videos at the time, and that won like every video music award. And I know they did the animation and the people, and it was, supposedly this big thing, but the song sucked.
Which is funny because to me, I hated the video. I thought the video looked cheap And I know it was supposedly the exact opposite, but I thought it was somebody who went crazy with an Etch-a-Sketch. All right. I hated it.
I'm right there with you. Number 9 is Rico Suave.
Okay.
And I love that song only because, and you will laugh at this, David, my dad's name was Frederick. And his gang, his guys that he played cards with, started going Frederico, and then he just became Rico Suave for a couple of years. And when you think of my dad, you never think Rico Suave.
No, in amongst any group of people, actually. So, yes.
Right.
That's funny.
And number 10 is 99 Love Balloons by Nina. I would lean, if I were to pick one, I would lean Mickey or Who Let the Dogs Out for our 4th.
I'd go Who Let the Dogs Out.
Fair enough. It's up. 2 poll questions are there.
So, best one-hit wonder, we're asking?
Well, your favorite. Today is the National One Hit Wonder Day. Which of these 4 is your favorite?
Okay. What's the other poll question, by the way?
Team USA, Team Europe. We got this little golf match that starts tomorrow.
I know we just hadn't talked about it yet. I just didn't know where you were going with it. I hope, and by the way, we're not asking who you're rooting for.
No, who do you think will win?
Or, by the way, did you give C as an option, a 14-14 tie, or no?
I did not.
Okay.
I did not, because essentially if it is a tie,
Europe wins.
Europe wins.
Cup. Right.
Got to take the title from the champion.
Yes,
you know, the way that Leonard was supposed to take it from Hagler and didn't.
Wow. This bothers you.
Oh, yeah.
We're not that far away from 40 years. This bothers you. Wow.
Well, when I think of taking the title from someone, that's the first thing that pops in my head.
Okay.
So a couple of poll questions up, one about the Ryder Cup, one about one-hit wonders. That Mark Miller, the David Moulton, Miller_Moulton on X. The text line is always open 24/7. Never know when I'm going to answer you. The keyword is Miller. The number is 21,000. 21,000, keyword Miller. The Pelican Roofing of Florida text line, Pelican Roofing of Florida, 1-866-9-PELICAN. So I'm fired up. Great show today. Roy Cummings, JP Shadrick, our usual football guest to talk about the Bucs and the Jags. And Whit Watson will join the show as well, as we'll break down the Ryder Cup with Whit coming in the 8 o'clock hour.
Apparently today's a rain out.
Yes.
I am wondering, by the way. I mean, Bethpage is 35 miles from Manhattan, so it's, roughly the same from the Bronx. If it's supposed to be a washout at Bethpage, are they going to be able to play at Yankee Stadium tonight? I mean, we're kind of late in the year. We don't have any makeup days available. It's kind of an important game to be played. 2 teams tied for a division title and the 1 seed in the American League playoffs. I don't know. Would seem to be an important game to get in. I was actually thinking yesterday, because they were already talking yesterday at this time, that Thursday was going to be a washout at Bethpage. And I'm thinking, well, should the Yankees and White Sox play too? Should they get ahead of this?
David, I didn't pretend to look at New York weather today, but maybe it's a rain out for golf, if you will.
Right.
And the nighttime, the rains are done. So I don't know.
That's what I'm hoping. So,
but you are right, because it's the last day for a lot of these series. So there is no time to make them up.
Is this the only way we can get a Monday game? Is if something is rained out in the next few days and they have to play it, so therefore they have to make it up on Monday? Anyway, Thursday Night Football tonight. I am curious, is your son going?
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
And for those that don't know, Mark's son is a proud East Carolina alum, and he lives in the greater Greenville area.
Oh, yeah. He has jumped into his podcasting. Like he does an ECU football podcast every week with a buddy. They get into the games and then do a little college football. But I forgot the stat. I think the last time that ECU beat a service academy was like 8 years ago. I mean, they have struggled against Army and Navy when they've played them, and they play Navy pretty much every year because the American. Tonight they play Army. They do not win against service academies. A little nugget for you.
East Carolina, a 4.5-point favorite tonight. Seahawks, a road favorite in the NFL as we're kicking off week 4 of the NFL season. I'm a little surprised they're headed to Europe so early in the season. Doesn't this seem early to head to Europe?
Well, in Minnesota, staying for a couple of weeks.
Right, because they've got back-to-back.
Right, the Vikings play in Dublin against Pittsburgh this week, and then they play Cleveland, I think, the following week.
Wow.
And they signed up for it. The UK is their property, if you will. They're one of the teams that claimed the UK, and they're obviously looking to build their brand. They think that they'll have 40% of the fans against the Steelers and more than that in the following game. So, it's a 90-minute flight after the flight from Dublin to London, 90 minutes. So they're staying there for the duration.
Are they trying to take London away from the Jags? Hey, this might be fighting words here. Okay. We may have to have a duel over this. I don't know which one is Burr and which one is Hamilton, but we ain't giving this up easily.
Football season is back, and celebrate your game day with Jimmy the Beef Guy. We're talking tender, juicy Chicago beef sandwiches. Whether your party's for 10, 100, or 200, bring game day to your house with Jimmy the Beef Guy. The catering packages come with the beef, the gravy, the peppers, the bread, everything you need. 2 convenient locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. Skip the ordinary and bring the beef. Jimmy the Beef Guy, Chicago flavor, Southwest Florida style. Call today or visit jimmythebeefguy.com. Tell him Miller and Moulton sent you.
Shoeless Joe's Sports Cafe, your home for all the football and baseball that September provides, plus a nightly food special. Got bingo and trivia Tuesdays and Thursdays, live music Fridays, karaoke Saturdays. Never mind the fact that Shoeless Joe's is going to celebrate Grandparents' Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Cheeseburger Day, all in the month of September. Food and drink specials during every NFL game. Shoeless Joe's, the official home for Ohio State football. Shoeless Joe's, good food, good times, good sports in the Doubletree by Hilton. Bell Tower Shops, Fort Myers. So I asked him at Floor Meisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floor Meisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floor Meisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floor Meisters, floormeisters.com.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Was it your wife that said "Rock Me Amadeus"?
I think it was on a list that she sent me.
It 44 for those wondering. It's on the list, Adam. Thought it was on the list. Actually, it's not on the list. The Buggles.
Video killed the radio star.
There's no need for that. You know what, Feeney? If we would have been talking about that team, we would have, because after the game at Oregon, it looked like all hope was lost, and then they lost to Tulsa. That was it.
Yeah, actually, I'm surprised he made it as many days after losing to Tulsa. I thought he might get fired before game day aired Saturday, because that was about 9-10 hours went by.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. Our guests get fired up midway through the show. Grade 8 hour is Roy Cummings talking Bucs, Whit Watson talking Ryder Cup. Bonus hour, JP Shadrick talking Jags. Here on Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Mark, what's the poll questions again?
We have two, USA or Europe. Who do you think will win the Ryder Cup? And today is National One Hit Wonder Day. I appreciate all the text, all the people in the chat room chiming in with theirs. It looks like we should have left Who Let the Dogs Out off the list and put something else, because no one has yet to vote for it. Come on, Eileen, and 8675309. Jenny in a dead heat with Ice Ice Baby And third, just to finish off that nugget I gave you, East Carolina did win in Annapolis 4 years ago, but their last home win against a service academy was in 2004.
Wow.
Just a little nugget tonight for East Carolina Army, if you so desire.
Wow, that's almost as long as it's been since the Mariners won the West. Time now for
The Starting Five. 5 big stories you need to know. Here is the Starting Five.
We'll start with a little wet your whistle football. Thursday Night Football tonight on Amazon Prime at 8:15. An NFC West tilt between the Seahawks and the Cardinals in Arizona. One of these teams is going to be 3-1. Seattle a road favorite, albeit by just a 1.5 points. To me, the big football news, however, was late yesterday. The preliminary Hall of Fame list came out for the 2026 class of the Pro Football Hall of Fame. By the way, 128 nominees. We're not even talking about the senior committee, which has more. But 128 nominees, 77 on offense, 42 on defense, and 9 special teamers. 13 of the 128 are brand new. Mark, it would seem to me as if 2 of the 13 are absolute locks because their names are Drew Brees and Larry Fitzgerald.
Okay.
But the other first-time nominees, Phillip Rivers, Jason Witten, Frank Gore, I believe third on the all-time rushing list, and LaShawn McCoy. The list gets reduced to 50 next month. That's a lot of work they got to do in less than a full month. And then it gets reduced to 25, and then it'll be 15, which get debated and voted on, and then we'll get up to 6. By the way, these are some of the top guys who were finalists last year and didn't get in. Adam Vinatieri, Eli Manning, pick your wide receiver, Torrey Holt, Reggie Wayne, Steve Smith, and Luke Kuechly. I mean, Miller and Moulton have been saying this is a tough Hall of Fame to get into, and yet they managed lately. They've put a couple of people in that we've gone, wait, who? Wait.
But they also didn't put in the maximum amount last year.
Right.
Which floored both of us because we thought certainly there were 5 worthy people to get in.
They didn't put in, the senior committee didn't put in a single coach. Coaches are now in their own category. Mike Shanahan, Mike Holmgren, Tom Coughlin. All right, none of these guys? Seriously? Oh, by the way, I think this year Belichick is eligible to be discussed on the coaches. He's got to get in, right? I mean, I don't care how badly it's ending. Come on now. College football tonight, we mentioned it. Army, a 4.5-point underdog at East Carolina, 7:30 on the 4-letter network. The College Football Playoff Committee met for 4 hours yesterday. They accomplished nothing. In fact, the head of the committee came out after the meeting, Mark, and said, quote, "My sense is the room is comfortable with 12 for another year. No future meetings are scheduled the rest of the year," which is telling because they have to let ESPN know by December 1st of this year whether they're changing the format for next season.
Hi, committee. This is ESPN on line 1. Pick up the phone.
Tony Petitti and the Big Ten are like, no, we're not going to do it. Not under the conditions that everybody else wants. We're not going to do it. So there. We're like the United Nations. We've got veto power, and we're going to use it. Okay. By the way, the Big Ten did throw a proposal out there for 28 teams. Do you think they got confused expanding the basketball tournament and the football tournament? I mean, that they added the number of teams they wanted to add to the basketball tournament, and somebody submitted that in the football paperwork that they submitted? 28. Holy guacamole. All right, baseball, pay attention. This gets complicated. What isn't complicated is the Guardians have won 8 in a row. Oh, I'm sorry, 6 in a row, 12 of 13, 17 of 19, while the Tigers have lost 8 in a row and 11 of 12. Do the math. You can pick up a lot of ground very quickly when something like that happens. And by very quickly, I mean in 11 days, they've gone from 8 back to 1 up. Fangraphs gave them on August 25th a 0.0% chance of making the playoffs. As late as September 8th, they were given a 0.1% chance of making the playoffs. Right now, they have a 1-game lead with 4 to play over the Tigers, and they own the tiebreaker. So there. Good news for the Tigers. You're still in the playoffs. I'll get to that in a moment. Red Sox beat Toronto 7-1, Crochet with 8 shutout innings. Boston has a 2-game lead over Houston to make the final playoffs, or to make the playoffs. Boston's playoff magic number is just 1. The Jays with the loss are tied with the Yankees for first in the East with 4 to play. Judge hit 2 homers. He's got 51. Max Fried picked up his 19th win. Cy Young? Nope.
I know Skubal is the odds-on favorite to get it, but when you look at what he's done in August, he's lost his last 2 starts. Come on.
8-1 Yankees over the White Sox, tied with the Jays with 4 to play. Toronto owns the tiebreaker. Toronto has the more difficult remaining schedule. Seattle clinched the West last night, the first time they've done so since 2001. They beat the Rockies 9-2. The big dumper hit 2 more homers. He's got 60 with 4 games left. The Mariners have won 6 in a row. They're 16-1 in their last 17. Unbelievable. By the way, how long ago was 2001? Fallen by Alicia Keys was the number 1 song. Shrek was released in theaters. Ichiro was a rookie. The iPod had not been released. And the first Harry Potter film had just been released. That's the last time the Mariners won the West until last night. Houston lost their 5th in a row. A's shut them out 6-0. Detroit is a game behind Cleveland, but they're a game ahead of Houston for the final playoff spot in the American League, and they own the tiebreaker on the Astros. So while the Tigers are collapsing in the Central, they actually are the odds-on favorite to still make the playoffs as the 6th seed.
Horse hockey.
Cubs 10-3 over the Mets. They have a 2.5-game lead on San Diego for the 4 seed. The Mets still lead the race for the wild card spot, the last one in the National League, because both the Reds and Diamondbacks lost in 11 innings. Pittsburgh beat the Reds. Skeens, by the way, 6 shutout innings. Bullpen blew it, but then they won it in 4-3. And Arizona scored 3 in the 8th to force extra innings. Kershaw came in and pitched in relief for the Dodgers. Dodgers won 5-4-11. Their magic number to clinch the West is 1, which is also Milwaukee's magic number to clinch home field advantage throughout the playoffs, including the World Series. Milwaukee 3-1 over San Diego, snapping the Padres' 4-game winning streak. San Diego looks locked in as the 5 seed right now. The Phillies hit 8 home runs last night in one game against the Marlins. 3 of them by Edmundo Sosa. They give Trey Turner a night off, and his replacement goes yard 3 times. But Schwarber hit 2, and he's at 56. Unbelievable. Snapped the Marlins 7-game winning streak, 11-1. Braves 10-game winning streak was snapped. Nats 4-3 over Atlanta. Same score, Giants over the Cardinals. St. Louis officially eliminated from the playoffs. By the way, Rafael Devers quietly with the Giants in not a hitter-friendly park after the trade from Boston. He's got 34 homers and 107 RBIs. Just saying. Texas snapped their 8-game losing streak, doubling up the Twins 4-2, and the Angels beat the Royals 3-2. Finally, golf. Ryder Cup. The opening 4-ball lineups will be released this afternoon. The Ryder Cup gets underway in a little more than 24 hours at Bethpage Black. It's a public golf course, technically in Long Island, 35 miles east of downtown Manhattan. So when everyone says New York City, trust me, Farmingdale, New York is not New York City. And at 10 minutes before the hour mark, that was the starting 5. 5 big stories, and we've got Ryder Cup fever here on Miller and Moulton.
At least on this show, we do. Don't know about the rest of the sports world. Don't know about you, but Miller and Moulton are in. And since we're in and we program the show, we're going to talk a little Ryder Cup.
Right.
Whit Watson will join us in a couple hours to break it down. It is a poll question. Who do you think will win? Not who are you rooting for. Who do you think will win, Team Europe or USA? I kind of had to do a little work there during that. Did you mention that Tom Brady, he has a newsletter each week, but he, in the newsletter, basically issued a statement of football being a game of principles.
Right.
And because of that, it's okay, essentially, that he's a broadcaster and owner.
I didn't understand the correlation, number 1. 2, as one of the lead characters of Deflategate, I think there's a few people that may find the irony in that.
Yes, and I'm with you that I don't think Deflategate's a big deal.
No.
But when you issue a statement that says, I love football, and at its core is a game of principles, comma, some of which I didn't apply in my career. Oh, whoops, it doesn't say that. I feel a moral and ethical duty to the sport. I mean, you could rip this apart.
Tom, lighten up. We just think it's awkward. That's all. We don't have to go all, And by the way, the NFL, a game of principles? No. Golf, game of principles. Okay. Football? No. No. No, there's none of us that feel that way. I don't think Roger Goodell feels that way, Tom. No.
I have a moral and ethical duty to the sport, which is why the point where my role in it intersect is not actually a point of conflict, despite what the paranoid and distrustful might believe. Rather, it is the place from which my ethical duty emerges to grow, evolve, and improve the game that is giving me everything. Dude, I don't know who wrote that for you.
Yeah,
I don't know if you proofread it, but you're going to get abused for this. And I like you, and I don't think Deflategate's a big deal. I'm a big fan, and you look like an ass with this statement.
I actually think you took a bum rap for Deflategate, but I mean, you can't see the irony here? No? Lighten up, Francis. Lighten up.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine, no more snoring, no more tossing, no more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Got a cracked window or foggy glass? Don't wait for the next storm to make it worse. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business is just down the road and ready to help. From leaky frames to shattered panes, we've got the tools and the know-how to get your home or business storm ready. With flexible scheduling and our done right promise, you'll be in good hands. So before or after the weather hits, call your neighbors at Glass Doctor.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh yeah!
American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs and has been for 30 years. American Paint Supplies is also your #1 Festool dealer in Southwest Florida. If you are a builder, cabinet maker, painter, or power tool enthusiast, Festool craftsmanship can be found at American Paint Supplies. Celebrating 30 years of service, and Festool is celebrating 100 years of excellence. Come to American Paint Supply for a perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street, Naples, off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
If you're a business who targets men, please know there is no better and more economical way to reach your target audience than us at Miller & Moulton. So let us help you make money. You can reach out to Mark at that Mark Miller or me at the David Moulton on X, or text us at 21,000. We have a proven product, a good reputation, and lots of quality segments that we can attach your company's name to. Miller & Moulton, we're like that old pizza box. You've had the rest, now try the best. Miller & Moulton, millerandmoulton.com.
This is Miller & Moulton.
Yeah, Mello is correct. You need to write a new spot for Floormeisters, too.
Yeah, I reached out to him. I need material, baby. Gotta get me something to work with. Gonna go see my grandson today.
Who's he like, Team Europe or Team USA?
Well, his father is a big Shoffley guy.
I'm anti-JT, always have been, but he did something very cool yesterday. If you saw the video, Some kid had some sign that basically said it's my birthday or something along those lines. And JT saw him. It's, come on, walk the hole with me. No, you can get over the rope. You can see he was like, no, you're fine. Go through the ropes and let him walk a hole with him. That's cool.
So apparently all year, Keegan Bradley has been like going to Bethpage, charting out the course and what have you, playing it a little bit. But also while he's been doing it, he's been handing out free tickets to people playing the course.
Bethpage, right.
Right, because he wants the common golf fan, if you will, to have access. Apparently he's given away 3,000 tickets. Damn. Yeah, Adam, I think everything, the fact the rough is not thick, the softness of the course, yeah. I have not played it, but yes. It's big. It's a big course. But you can just grip it, rip it, find it. If they're not going to have the rough that thick, the Ryder Cup is a tough watch because the golf is so, centered.
In person, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you're right, Paula. Craig Brush, the guy that runs the Blades, and when he used to like me, but he was a member at Oakland Hills and said the same thing. And he worked it. He was a volunteer because he was a member. And it's all 1 million people, and you're dealing with 4. We were wrong, by the way. Alternate shot is first. Best ball is second.
Oh.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
Hour 2 of Miller and Moulton on this Thursday, where the new week in football kicks off tonight. NFL, Seattle, Arizona, even a little college action to wet your whistle. About 45 minutes before the NFL game, Army in East Carolina kicks off in Greenville, North Carolina, on the 4-letter network. Man, what a good college week this is.
So all funny you say that. Looking at the text line, Pelican Roofing of Florida text line, and a texter says the following when you got into the playoff committee meeting during the starting 5 there, in which he says, screw the playoff selection committee. They are the reason I haven't watched any live broadcast college football games yet this year.
Wow.
Which I replied, I'm sorry about that. You're missing great games and a great sport. I've never had a governing body of a sport really influence me watching it. You have.
Yes.
You took the NHL off for a year.
I did.
Because of the lockout.
I was angry. Not the one where we lost the season. I was actually in favor of that. I was totally in favor of everything that Bettman was trying to do, from the salary cap to the getting rid of the red line for icing and whatever. I totally think it was worth it not playing the sport for a year for what it did for the sport. I really do. Okay. But there was another one like 6 years, 7 years later, and I got bent out of shape, and it only penalized myself. And
that's what I think this person's doing. I think you're penalizing yourself, and that's okay. You watch what you want to watch. We can't tell you what to do, obviously. But
did he say what is it about the committee that's turned him off to the sport? Is it because it's 12? Because it's not 16?
No, David. He just said, screw the playoffs. So I read the entire text.
Oh.
That was it. Screw the playoff selection committee.
Yeah, I know.
I didn't editorialize that text.
I just was curious if there was something else there. I mean, sometimes you get these Faulkner, like novels that are sent to you, and you have to summarize them in 8 seconds or less. I would like that person to think, could you give us a why?
And if you need David's email address, I'll be happy to text it to you. You can pick up the conversation there.
In fact, if the text is compelling enough, he may give you my cell. Just don't be one of those. Don't be the doctor's office that keeps calling Miller and Moulton when we've told them 8,000 times we're unavailable before 10 a.m. Could you at least wait till we're recording the promo for tomorrow's show before you call us?
And then another texter, Pelican Roofing of Florida text line, 21,000 keyword Miller. If you've not texted the show before, 21,000 keyword Miller. We do today was a day when some of our audience does not get the final hour. And today is Michael Douglas's birthday. And he had his own poll question of, best Michael Douglas movie. And so, I appreciate him giving me his list.
Oh,
well, he went with he did in no particular order. At least I don't think so. He actually gave 5. So Wall Street, Fatal Attraction, China Syndrome, Basic Instinct, War of the Roses. And then, I threw at him. I did what so many people do to me. I gave yet another.
Look at you.
I couldn't think of the name of it. He just came back, Disclosure, which I thought was a terrific movie with Demi Moore and Donald Sutherland, among others. So I appreciate it wherever it's coming from. The texters, give their ideas for poll question. The chat room occasionally will do the same with the good, the bad, and the ugly that they give their submissions for from time to time. We appreciate all the help. We can kind of consider you folks our research and development people because, well, we don't have a lot of them. And by not a lot of them, we have Miller and Moulton.
I'm rooting for Georgia to beat Alabama for one reason and one reason only. Vanderbilt right now is ranked 1 spot behind Alabama. Vanderbilt has Utah State at home this week. I like the Commodores' chances. I really do, especially as 24-point favorites. And so I just, I hope it's an epic game, late field goal. But I need, when Vanderbilt plays Alabama, for Vanderbilt to be ranked ahead of them in the polls. When is the last time that happened?
I honestly would say never. Like, I don't believe that that's ever happened.
I mean, is it possible during the 9-3 Jay Cutler season from, that many years ago? I mean, because that's pre-Saban. Okay. So that would have been a 9-3 Vandy team going up against a Mike Shula team. Okay. Where it's possible neither was ranked. I don't know when they played, the whole deal. But I mean, I just want that little distinction a week from now to just humor probably me and only me.
I'm with you.
Okay. I mean, don't you just want to say, because then, we know they won't be favored. But still, I would love for whoever is going to call that game for ESPN to have to say, and the 16th ranked Commodores visiting the 19th ranked Crimson Tide. It would be like, could we just freeze this and put this in a time capsule? But all right, gut feeling on these games. Are you ready?
I am.
Do you know not that long ago, Washington was an 11.5-point underdog to Ohio State? Have you checked the line?
Is it 7.5, 8.5 now?
It's 7.5.
Yeah. And, if you listened yesterday when we talked with Bud Elliott, and obviously I know you're prepping for this game, the Washington defense has a couple of players who are questionable.
They do.
Yes. And some of them in the defensive backfield. This just in.
Right.
Ohio State's pretty good at receiver.
Yes.
And by pretty good, they're the best team in the country at the position.
Right.
And also, by the way, they did just get another 5-star to commit to them at the wide receiver position for next year. So don't worry, it's not getting any worse.
And by pretty good, we mean unless Godwin comes back this week for the Tampa Bay Bucs, Ohio State has the best group of wide receivers in the NFC South. That's what we mean by pretty good. So Ohio State is 7.5-point favorite at Washington. Washington's averaging 58 points a game. Now, we do need to put this in some perspective. They played Colorado State. They played UC Davis. And they played Washington State. But, scoring a lot of 58 points still, it's a lot of points. So
It is.
We'll see here. Okay. Obviously we saw week 1, Ohio State's defense look pretty good. But
yeah, I hope you get a game. I'm fearful if some of those defensive players don't play. I don't see Washington being able to slow the Buckeyes down much. And as you just mentioned, this is just a little step up in class for Washington and what they're going to see on that side of the ball. But, they were great against Texas. Texas's offense has not been good this season. And you wonder with the new D coordinator how quickly this defense comes together against the best offense they've faced this year.
By the way, how about the quarterback play in the Big Ten?
Yeah. It's really good.
Yeah.
It really good.
Yeah, it really is. You go 6-7 deep. And we're then just starting to mention, and by the end of the season, what will Underwood look like? We're not even putting him in the top 5-6 because he ain't there.
Think of it this way: when the kid from Michigan State goes to Miami this year, you'll think pretty highly of him.
Well, that's if the kid from Nebraska doesn't beat him to it. LSU Ole Miss. It's in Oxford. Ole Miss, a smidge favorite. Don't you think Ole Miss is one of those great mystery teams right now? They're 4-0. Okay, they've played Tulane, they've played Arkansas, they've played Kentucky, they've played Georgia State. They've only played one, because Tulane might be the best group of 5 team in the country. They're certainly one of the top 5 group of 5 teams in the country. And then they've already 2-0 in the SEC. So, they've played some level of competition. But they haven't played an LSU yet.
No, and Kentucky's they are a bottom feeder in the SEC, and Kentucky was competitive against them. They looked great against Tulane.
They did.
But again, I'll just if you didn't hear Bud Elliott yesterday, Tulane didn't blitz. LSU will blitz a lot. How will Lane and Ole Miss handle the LSU blitz and their defense? Now, the LSU defense that, how much credit do you give them for stopping Florida and Clemson? Because let's be honest, everybody stopped Florida and Clemson.
You got Arizona, Iowa State, a key Big 12 game. All right. How about Indiana at Iowa? Think Indiana comes back down to earth? This is it, by the way. Indiana after Iowa's got a bye. If Indiana beats Iowa, they've got 2 weeks to prepare for Oregon.
Indiana does get Oregon and Penn State this year, I believe. So they're scheduled not like it was a year ago. Hawkeyes can't throw the ball, but they have been effective running it, and they've scored some points. But their defense not as good as it was a year ago. I like Indiana, David. I do. This guy can coach. People don't like him because he's a little abrasive, and he's getting a bad rap. Come on. Is there there's not been a better hire in a long time. I guess you could say, I said this earlier this week, is it the best hire of the century? It's probably Kirby at Georgia, but this hire's up there. He made Indiana football relevant. Think about that for a second.
Quickly. In an hour and a half, he made Indiana football relevant.
The last time I think Indiana fought for a Big Ten title before this guy, I think was when I was in college.
The only knock against him is he does set up Cupcake City non-conference. All right, that's the only knock against Cignetti. But if they beat Iowa, yes, Mark, they do have, Oregon and Penn State, no Michigan, no Ohio State, but they have both those games on the road. Miller and Moulton, thanks for listening.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters. Floormeisters.com.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow & Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow & Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow & Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise. On 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
Shoeless Joe's Sports Cafe, your home for all the football and baseball that September provides, plus a nightly food special. Got bingo and trivia Tuesdays and Thursdays, live music Fridays, karaoke Saturdays. Never mind the fact that Shoeless Joe's is going to celebrate Grandparents' Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Cheeseburger Day, all in the month of September. Food and drink specials during every NFL game. Shoeless Joe's, the official home for Ohio State football. Shoeless Joe's, good food, good times, good sports in the DoubleTree by Hilton. Bell Tower Shops, Fort Myers.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 13325.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Fun Michael Douglas fact for you. It's his wife's birthday today, too.
Is she 60?
Same age as me. She's 56. And she's hot.
She is a beautiful woman.
That is a great-looking lady right there.
Thank you for the R&D, JPR.
Adam, I agree. That's a great movie. I liked that movie a lot. I had nothing yesterday. Got to knock out a few more of my, what is it? The hunting wives. Wow, that's a dirty little show right there. Very rarely do you get a movie where all the lead characters are female and the show is basically more for men than it is for women. At least it seems that way to me. Got the last one I'll watch. No, the wife's home today. I'll watch it tomorrow. Yeah, Mello, I can honestly say I don't think I've watched porn in 20 years, but thank you. It's not my thing. I prefer some imagination, believe it or not. And besides, after all those bus trips with the Everblades, where those guys would all sit in the back, because that was the days of the, satellite TV where you got the cards that you could steal all the shows. Those guys were, it was nonstop. And I don't know after that if I could, I'm like, that's enough for a lifetime. I don't know how. If David can hear me, everybody else should be able to hear me.
And I can hear him.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Thanks for being with us. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. So, listen, the Ryder Cup doesn't get underway for another 24 hours, almost to the minute. Obviously, there's a lot of talk. Did you ever put any credence into, they talk about sometimes it's tough to find a guy to play with someone, whether he's just got a personality and people don't like him, Patrick Reed, or Tiger. It's tough to find partners for Tiger, because he wasn't close with many people. He was with O'Meara, but O'Meara only qualified for a couple of our, like Ryder and President Cup teams during Tiger's era. They put Ken Venturi put Nota Begay with him in a President's Cup because they were college teammates and good friends, and they were great together in part. And I remember them specifically talking about this afterwards. They played the same golf ball. Remember, Tiger played Nike for a long time before quietly switching to Titleist and not letting anyone know until the TV cameras zeroed in on the ball. And no one else played Nike except Nota Begay. And you know how the elite golfers are if you follow golf with the whole spin rate and what have you. They get pretty funky about their equipment. Apparently, DeChambeau plays a golf ball that's different from everyone else on the team. He plays, I don't know, a Pro VX, but he plays the most recent model. And there's a whole bunch of guys on the team that play the model that's a year or two old. And Johnson Wagner of the Golf Channel, he came out yesterday and he said, I might be getting too technical here, but I'm telling you, this is the thing. Okay, especially with DeChambeau, with how particular he is about his spin rates and he's probably more particular than just about anybody else. And he thought it might be a problem as to who you pair him with. Okay, like best ball, it's not a problem. You can just play your own thing. But he wondered, can you play Bryson in alternate shot when you have to play a common ball?
Well, in looking at this, he plays it's a Pro V1X left dash. It's a prototype ball that he's working with Titleist on. He played the Pro V1X before that. I think most of these guys just play the Pro V1.
Yes.
It wouldn't change me from playing him in the alternate shot. We were wrong yesterday, by the way. Not
Yes.
the first time and not the last time.
No.
They start with the alternate shot. The best ball is in the afternoon, or four ball. They go foursomes, which is alternate shot, four ball, which is best ball. Whichever one of the two of you has the best score, you play your own ball.
And here's how I'm going to remember that. Just kind of like differentiating between Josh Lowe and Brandon Lau. Josh Lowe became J Lowe. That's how we could remember which one was Lowe and which one was Lau.
Only took us 2 years to figure that out on this show.
Right. Well, we're quick learners. Don't kid yourself.
We'll get there eventually.
But foursomes, when they refer to it as foursomes, okay, that's alternate shot. Why? Foursomes with an S, alternate shot with an S. Okay. Four ball is best ball. Okay. So there you go, Mark. That's how we can remember it. Okay. When they refer to, because we call it alternate shot and best ball, they call it foursomes and four ball. That's how we can know what they're talking about on Friday and Saturday.
Well, here, David, I think you're right in what you've said all week long, that Bryson DeChambeau should be teeing off first for Team USA, and he should be trying to drive the green on the first hole because he can.
Yes.
The first four holes are the easiest four holes at Bethpage. The course begins at 5, and then it's a you-know-whatter. So
apparently there's only one hole in which the consensus is that you can't hit driver. Some hole in the back 9, you can't hit driver on this hole. But that every other hole on the course is grip it, rip it, find it.
But I don't know if any of the other players are playing the Pro V1X. I would think that if it was that big of a deal, since Bryson played the Pro V1X before he went to this Pro V1X left dash, that he would be able to go back to the Pro V1X if someone plays that. And I don't know which other Ryder Cuppers play that ball.
And Mark, I would have thought the same thing. But apparently in getting ready for the Ryder Cup late in the LIV season, he switched his golf ball to the golf ball that I guess like 7 of the guys on the team played with. He played with it in an LIV event. He performed badly. He went back to playing his ball the rest of the LIV season.
The other thing that maybe they would play his ball because it has less spin. What have we already been told about Bethpage? Greens are soft. It will spin more. So maybe some of these other players would want to have a ball with the lower spin rate. I think we are outthinking the room right now.
Well,
is Bryson one of the best 8 players on the U.S. team? Hell yes. I want him playing as much as possible. I want Scotty Scheffler playing as much as possible.
Okay. All right.
Don't overanalyze this, Keegan. Play your horses, because if not, you'll screw it up. Look at what Europe does. They play their horses.
By the way, besides Scheffler and DeChambeau, anybody else you consider a horse?
No,
So
maybe JT, because his Ryder Cup record's good. I think 7-4-3 or something like that.
So basically the U.S. has 2.5 horses.
I mean, of the guys that were the automatics, J.J. Spawn, do you think he's a horse?
No, I mean, be very curious how he plays his first match. I'll say this, though. Man, he can putt. I hope he just shows up with his A game because he can putt. I have not seen a guy drain 30-plus foot putts or burn the edges on long putts since Tiger in his prime, quite frankly, the way JJ has putted this year.
I was going to say the only one between that is when Jordan Spieth was rolling. He seemed to make a lot of long putts. That would be,
And he still does.
Right.
He still does. I mean, Spieth does make more 25-footers than just about anybody out there. Goodness knows he's never much closer to the hole.
And when he is, he's not as good of a putter. That's the ironic thing with him. He's better from 10 feet than he is from 6 sometimes, which is weird. But he's not playing, so we don't need to talk about him. Tomorrow morning, alternate shot. Tomorrow afternoon, best ball. Same thing on Saturday. Singles on Sunday. It is one of our 2 poll questions. And right now, it's a 50-50 split between who you think will win, Team USA, Team Europe. But Come On Eileen is getting 37% of the one-hit wonder vote, edging out 867-5309 Jenny at the moment. Ice Ice Baby in a close third. Who Let the Dogs Out shouldn't have been on the list.
Yeah.
That's our fault. No. That's our fault. I take full blame with you. I typed it. We agreed. That's the way it is. Miller and Moulton, the great 8-hour, just 30 minutes away. Roy Cummings, Whit Watson will join us then. Thanks for listening, Miller and Moulton. For over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to nolanagency.com. That's 941-639-1122. or nolanagency.com. American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow & Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow & Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow & Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
When Glass Doctor replaces your windshield, we don't just send you on your way, we send you off protected. Your local Glass Doctor includes the industry's only 12-month windshield protection plan at no extra cost. That means unlimited chip repairs and even a one-time replacement if needed. High-quality service backed by real peace of mind, right here in your neighborhood.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor. We fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Exclusions apply. See your local Glass Doctor for
So I
details.
asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Sonny, I would ask you, when's the last time his game was on? I mean, he didn't play really well all year, so I can't think of him as a horse right now. Mark, I believe, and David could correct me if I'm wrong, but I believe it is the PGA of America that picks it. And I'm like 95% sure on that one. It is their tournament after all. Adam, I don't care what golf ball I use. If I could afford it, because I suck. I'm a 11 handicap that can spray the ball on occasion. My weakest part of my game is my tee shot. I lose 3 balls around minimum. So I play the Kirkland ball. It's a buck a ball. It works just fine. Pro Vs are like, what, $4 a ball now? It's like $50 a dozen. I can't afford that. That's ridiculous. And Clark, I would tell you it's a bit of a vanity handicap because, you're not allowed once you get to a certain number to take more than a double. I think you can take a triple on holes that are your handicap holes. So I haven't shot my handicap in a long time. Not anywhere close. Easy to get your handicap down. Tough for it to go up with the new system that they have. I played for the first time. I played 18 holes for the first time since July because I screwed my back up and had 2 compression fractures in my vertebrae. So I think I shot 87 on Friday. 86, 87, something like that. And I'll use a yellow or a white ball. It doesn't matter to me. I don't mind when the Kirkland yellow comes out, I grab them because they're fun. And my old eyes see the yellow ball a little bit better than the white ball these days. It was not only mentioned, it was abused by both hosts. It's up on the list of the VH1 top 10 one-hit wonders, JDR. No, DTW, if I can get a brand new Kirkland, quite frankly, for the same price as a waterlogged Pro V, I'll take the Kirkland. The only thing different about the Kirkland to me, because they've stolen all their technology from either Callaway or Titleist, depending on who you listen to, it doesn't spin as well as a Pro V. And if you're good, the Pro Vs are to me are terrific around the green because they do have their spin. They bite a little better around the greens, particularly chipping. They're a little softer as well. And I do like the Titleist AVX too. But again, it doesn't matter to me. Hit the damn ball. I ain't good enough. And I don't think most players, unless you're a low single digits, I really don't think the ball matters. I think it's between your ears. When you get a 10-12 handicap telling you that this ball versus this ball, it's laughable to me. And I still have pretty good swing speed. I hit the ball very high. I hit the ball pretty hard. Come on. But a lot of guys at the club that are right around the 10 to 15 handicaps use those sites to get the used Pro V so that they can play a Pro V. I have no problem playing my Costco ball. I like beating them with the Costco ball, if you want to know the truth.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
22 minutes until we start bringing in the guests. Roy Cummings to talk the Tampa Bay Bucs at the top of the hour. Whit Watson 1 hour from now. We'll get back to overanalyzing the Ryder Cup. It's one of our poll questions today. This is the least amount of analyzing we do. Who do you think will win? It's not asking who you're rooting for. It's asking if you actually put a couple shekels on it. Ultimately, who do you think will win? And a 14-all tie means that Europe wins because they retain the cup. And it's pretty close to a 50-50 vote. And I'm brutally honest, I think Mark is too, unless Mark's got a feeling. But Miller and Moulton root really hard for the U.S.
Really hard.
tomorrow.
Like, I get pissed off when we lose. I
Yes.
was distraught 2 years ago. I was on the air, man, because the matches start earlier when it's over in Europe, obviously. And on Friday, when we're getting destroyed, I was upset on the air. Like, actually upset about it. As upset as I get when my Spartans blow a game. I mean, I take this very seriously.
I wish I had the texts on Saturday working the college football game we were working when I am just getting a diatribe from my co-host as to how, because if you remember, I mean, the score after Saturday 2 years ago was beyond embarrassing. It was like 11-5 territory. I mean, it was ridiculous. But I'm rooting for the U.S. I will put my shekels on Europe. I agree with what Azinger said a few days ago in a podcast. I don't know that we pick courses that take our golfers into consideration. They do over there. I mean, when they picked that course in Spain, I mean, that was a tricky course. None of our guys had ever played it. Okay. They play that course every year on the DP World Tour. Okay. Those guys had all played that course. It had tricky angles and what have you. We were a disaster. Apparently, by the way, the hole is 17. They got the big, stadium set up, and it's a great hole, apparently. I'll be curious how many matches get there. I will say this. Boy, has Europe dominated the 18th hole in recent Ryder Cups. Matches that come down to the very end, they whoop us. So,
For
I'd
the
love to be
record,
proven wrong.
For the record, currently on the Hard Rock app, which is all we can bet legally in Florida. I know you all have your sites where you get things, but right now, USA minus 145, Europe plus 150. As a gambler, how do you not bet Europe?
Have to. Now, I know this has been a home thing for a while. I mean, we're on a run here where only Europe in, I think it was 2012, when Rory overslept and his now current wife, okay, even though he was engaged to Wozniacki, his current wife, miraculously out of nowhere, okay, drove him to the course and got him there 6 minutes before his tee time.
Overslept, huh?
Right. Okay. And Europe came back from a 10-6 deficit. They did to us what we did to them in 99 when we overcame the same deficit and then ran all over the course and honked them off in the comeback at Brookline. Well, they did it to us on our soil. I think it's the only road win in like the last 18 years.
By the way, plus 1,300 on a 14-14 tie.
Oh, I'd put a few shekels on that. I would definitely do that. Because the other thing is, lately we've gotten some routes. I think we've gotten like 3 in a row. I'd love for this to
Oh, man, absolutely.
come down to the nitty-gritty.
You and NBC.
Well, it will be the great test. I mean, can this thing get a rating? I mean, to us, Eagles Bucs is sexy. Is Eagles Bucs sexy nationally?
But it's not a national game. It's a 1:00 game. You
Right.
get your regional game at 1. So the NFL will do amazingly well at 1:00. It always does. Everybody's watching their team play. I mean, it's the king sport. So you can't look at it from Bucs Eagles. Yeah, that's what we're going to get here. And I'm very happy about that. But 1:00 is the regional game. It's not a national window. Ravens Chiefs is the end of the Ryder Cup is going to be going up against the first half of Ravens Chiefs.
By the way, I'm about to say something, and I think by now you know that Miller and Moulton don't say things to draw a wow or a reaction. We just do a show, and sometimes our opinions draw a reaction. The Chiefs are not fun right now.
They weren't last year.
Right.
Except they were fun in this regard. They played all of those one-score games, and Patrick Mahomes was able to steal a bunch of victories. Their defense stole some, the block kick, there were other things, but Mahomes had a bunch of heroic games last year. That made it fun. For 3 quarters, the Chiefs games were duds last year, David.
And without the weapons, although they are supposed to get Worthy back, he's practicing. Travis Kelce knocked him out of nearly 3 whole games. Golly, it's been a rough year for Kelce on the field. Off the field, I hear he's doing well. But the Chiefs right now are a little, dare I say, boring. Because there's not a lot of pizzazz there.
No. And when they get Rice back and Worthy's coming back, now this other receiver's played well the last couple of games, but Kelce's not done a whole hell of a lot this year.
Well,
if anything. I mean,
don't know if he's got much left. I mean, he's 35.
I understand, but come on, we heard all off season. I lost weight. I'm in shape. I'm back. No, you're really not. You're old. It's okay. You're a great tight end. You're going to the Hall of Fame, but you don't have your fastball anymore.
He does look better. I do think he looks thinner, but he's just old. Don't you?
Yes.
You slow down, right? I mean, Pedro had to get guys out throwing 90 instead of 95. I mean, that's where Travis Kelce is right now.
So we were talking a little college football earlier, and I do want to get back because we only got to a couple of games. I want to hit you right where it hurts a little bit because this team is not what you thought they were. And we're yet to find out what Louisville is. And they were thought to be a team in the ACC that was going to cause some problems. They're the noon game against Pitt. Mm-hmm. Louisville's a 4.5-point favorite. Pitt has underwhelmed this year.
Oh, my goodness.
You lose to West Virginia when you're a 7-point favorite. And I know it was in West Virginia, but they stubbed their toe a lot in that game. Penalties, turnovers. They have not been what you thought they were. What do you think they have for Louisville on Saturday?
Listen, if anybody can attest that they know what Pitt is going to bring to the table, I'd love to talk to them. I really would. And I do think that this is one of those games that the winner then is at a different level in the ACC standings this year than the other team.
And I bring it up because it's way down the road. But the Canes finish at Pitt. And it's the one game, and when I looked at the schedule and you were high on Pitt, I'm like, wow, it's I wonder if that game will, we've all seen Miami lose a game they're not supposed to. And in cold weather, end of the year, I just have that kind of circled as a game to pay attention to.
And the last team that we thought was great in Miami was the Mark Richt team. I think it was 2017 when they whooped up on Notre Dame in early November. They got to 10-0, number 2 in the country. They went to Pitt and got beat. And that was a pretty average Pitt team. So, Mark, I know what you're thinking.
You think Illinois got anything for USC? You've seen USC. I don't think you've seen Illinois this year, but you've seen USC, and we know the offense is very good. Their defense really struggles. Illinois banged up on that side of the ball defensively.
And because of it, first off, USC on the road's a 6.5-point favorite. Remember, they've won 1 game in the Central and Eastern time zone in 13 years. But I like USC because I do think they can score on anybody, and Illinois' back line is wounded. So I don't know how Illinois is going to slow down USC's passing game. And while USC's defense is not terrific, they can get after the passer. They can't necessarily cover anybody nor tackle anybody, but they can get after the quarterback. So I like USC in a 38-28 type game.
Auburn and A&M. A&M's a 6.5-point favorite. Auburn, one of their starting receivers out for the game, out for a few games with a broken foot, I believe. I just want to see A&M be consistent, David. Love what they did against Notre Dame. I think right now, when I look at who's the best team in the SEC, I think you have to throw A&M in the mix, but they've got to be consistent, and they're usually not.
A&M defensively still concerns me. So I think this game will be higher scoring than we believe, despite injuries at key positions. And Mark, I'm with you. Let's face it, A&M is tough to trust. A&M is tough to trust by their own fans. Because I was talking to many of them in Indianapolis 6 hours after they had upset Notre Dame. And they were practically with tears in their eyes, but they were saying, we'll take it because we don't know what the future is going to hold. So, they don't even have, their fan base is rabid, but as nervously rabid as a fan base can be. I will take A&M because I think Oklahoma may have softened Auburn up just enough, but I'm not sold on A&M until they prove me wrong.
Yeah, I wouldn't bet the game. A&M's 6.5 there. I just don't trust them enough in that game. And then obviously Oregon and Penn State we've not even talked about yet.
Nope.
It's go time. I don't know. I mean, they've not had a lot of competition.
Nope.
Penn State, have they not shown us everything?
Oh, they definitely haven't shown us everything. They've played in the first half of their first game, and I was there. They went up tempo. They did a few things differently. They've shelved it for the last 10 quarters. They haven't shown it and done it again. There's no doubt in my mind that Penn State has been working on Oregon for a month. I mean, they've played Nevada, Villanova, and who was the other? FIU?
Florida National. And they struggled with them for 3 quarters, for crying out loud.
Right.
My concern with Penn State is not their offense. I think their offense will be fine. I just wonder when, Oregon always tries to go so up-tempo and so fast. Is Penn State defensively fast enough to keep up with Oregon?
Yes, they are.
Okay.
They are. They have 2 dudes, by the way, at defensive end. Okay. I'll be very curious because Oregon hasn't played the toughest schedule.
No, they haven't.
In the world either. So this will be each team's going to get punched in the mouth like they haven't been punched in the mouth all year. I do like that Oregon quarterback a lot.
And what do Oregon quarterbacks all do? Doesn't matter who it is. They get rid of the ball in a hurry. So can they negate the good ends for Penn State by the quick hitter and attack them that way? That's to me what I'm curious about in that game.
I have a question. Does anybody think the whole whiteout thing is a factor?
No.
Well, you and I don't.
It looks cool.
Yes, it looks great.
I mean, this is where I defer back to hockey. The team that started the whiteout is not Penn State. It's the Winnipeg Jets. And let's look at their playoff success. Oh, yeah, they don't have any. The whiteout is the most overrated. What do you like better? Just, could throw it up on a poll question. What do you like better, the whiteout or the checkerboard look? I think the checkerboard look looks cooler.
Interesting.
I love the whiteout, but the checkerboard takes a little pizzazz. You're in an odd section, you better wear the right color. You're in an even section, you better have white.
James Franklin, addressing the media, took a little shot at Fox in which he mentioned them by name. He said, Fox tried to convince us that, a whiteout at noon is just as good. And James Franklin said, yeah, we told them, no, it's not. We're thrilled this game is on NBC.
Wow.
Fox, $1 billion they're paying this conference a year. $1 billion. Ohio State doesn't want to be on them. Penn State doesn't want to be on them. Michigan doesn't want to be on them in November. It's unbelievable.
Shut up and cash the
The
check.
checks.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 1332512.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
Football season is back, and celebrate your game day with Jimmy the Beef Guy. We're talking tender, juicy Chicago beef sandwiches. Whether your party's for 10, 100, or 200, bring game day to your house with Jimmy the Beef Guy. The catering packages come with the beef, the gravy, the peppers, the bread, everything you need. 2 convenient locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. Skip the ordinary and bring the beef. Jimmy the Beef Guy, Chicago flavor, Southwest Florida style. Call today or visit jimmythebeefguy.com. Tell them Miller and Moulton sent Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine, no more snoring, no more tossing, no more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and sound.
Todd and I are local. We're involved in our community. We live here, we work here, we're in our showroom every day. We love working with our guests. We love giving back to our community.
We are so excited about our new store. Same location, same team, new environment. Every day is like a grand reopening. Absolutely stunning when you walk through our doors now. Come experience the newness of the Diamond District. See what we've done.
American Paint Supplies, celebrating 30 years in Naples, is proud to be the exclusive Farrow and Ball dealer in Southwest Florida. The best thing to come from the UK since the Beatles, Farrow and Ball has the colors and paints at American Paint Supplies. See why all the designers and painters choose Farrow and Ball. For 30 years, American Paint Supplies provides the perfect pairing of service and expertise on 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. American Paint Supplies is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Lee's taking credit for the Oklahoma win.
I'm sorry, what?
Lee's taking credit for the Oklahoma win.
Oh, it's 7.5.
Well, because it
6.5.
was 6.5 when he sent it. It's like, if you're going to take credit, then I was 4-1. I mean, no, but whatever. Not going to fight with him. And I will say, to Lee's credit, when he sent he sends them a couple days prior, and he has the line at what it was at that point. So, morning, Roy.
Morning, guys. How we doing?
Doing well, other than my Tigers are in a free fall.
Oh my God. Incredible.
Unbelievable. This hurts because that's of the Detroit, like the Wings have become my favorite because I became a hockey guy.
Mhm.
But my first pro game was a Tiger game. My grandfather,
Wow.
I went with my mom and dad every year. I'd pick out a game and go to a Tiger stadium. So I've been going to Tigers games. I mean, since I can, that's my first memory of going to sporting events is
Yeah.
being at the corner of Michigan and Trumbull. This is killing me.
I miss that place, by the way. Yeah, it's amazing. I'll tell you what, the only solace you might have is the fact that you're not alone in that boat where everybody's fading because son of a gun.
Yeah, Houston's a wreck. His Mets are just
Yes.
awful right now. I know.
Cubs lost 5 or 6, 6 or 7 now. They finally won. Even the Blue Jays are fading.
Yeah, you're right.
It's incredible.
You're
The
right.
Dodgers are a 500 club over the last month.
We were just talking though that taking our teams out of it. He wants to see a Seattle-Milwaukee World Series, and I'm like, you could put the Padres in there against Seattle too, and I've got no problem with that.
Yeah, if I take my team out of it, I wouldn't mind that. That'd be interesting.
I mean, a couple teams that have never won, that would be
Sure.
that would be great. And
Yeah, that
for
would
me,
be.
I'm
That'd
big
be-
on San Diego because the ownership spent money and the fans have responded. They show up every night. It's their only sport. I've got to say, even though they're the worst unis, maybe in sports.
They're certainly in the running.
People should check out the video in Seattle, how happy those fans are.
Yeah.
It's only their second time in the playoffs in 24 years. And
Yeah, it's incredible. Yeah, and Cal Raleigh he's just 60 homers.
Yeah, going to finish second in the MVP race too.
Yeah.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
We are halfway home on this Thursday, at least in the 239, the 904, and in Tampa, St. Pete. It turns out it's the final hour of Miller and Moulton, Port Charlotte, Venice and surrounding areas, Lake City, Live Oak and surrounding areas. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Roy Cummings joins us at this day and time throughout the NFL season. He covers the Bucs, Bay News 9, Tampa, St. Pete, and he's done so for Miller and Moulton for 20 plus years. Can I ask you when, I guess I know when, we know when, why did you come to the conclusion that you did about Baker Mayfield when you did? You were way out ahead of even people in Tampa, St. Pete, never mind nationally, in which you were telling us midway through last season he was a top 10 quarterback. And by the end of the year, you're like, guys, he's a top 5 quarterback in the league to me. I mean, Roy, without him, they're 0-3. With him, they're a legit contender. What is it that somebody you talked to, you saw? What was it about him that made you jump all in when you did?
Well, it was no one that I talked to. It was all just personal, observation. And what I saw or see every week in Baker Mayfield is, obviously he's got every skill. He can throw every pass you need to make. He can scramble a little bit. But, and I've said it before, and you'll hear it again, he's a football player. And he's not a quarterback. He's a football player. And he does things that rally guys around him. If he is the epitome, in my opinion, of a player who makes others around him better because he energizes everybody else. He's got everybody else working so hard for him because he works so hard for them. When you've got a guy a quarterback, who will not just run the ball, but turn around and throw a block for somebody, run downfield and throw a block for somebody, just play the game the way he plays it, with the energy he plays it, with the dare that he plays it. I mean, he's willing to do anything to make a yard. Sometimes he does too much to make an extra yard. We've seen that before. And but that kind of thing in a locker room is so important. Usually you want your quarterback to be the leader, first guy in the room, first guy in the building, get everything right. Just be, kind of like your parent. Never be in a sense of panic at the toughest times. That's what you want. But he's so much more than that. He is the guy who's going to go out there and literally break his back for the rest of the players on the team if it means gaining a first down, scoring a touchdown, whatever. And that stuff, that intangible, you guys cannot understand how much that matters to a defensive end, an offensive tackle, a running back, a safety. They see that, and they say, if he's doing that, and that's not his job, how much more do I have to do? And that's what builds a team. And that's always been there. And the teams that had him prior to the Buccaneers failed to recognize that and failed to allow that to permeate throughout the team and lift the team up, which is what he does.
And to echo what Roy said, he was mic'd up. There is a great video out there. The run that he made for the first down where he lowered his shoulder and gets hit out of bounds. You watch the linemen all coming up to him, and you can kind of hear what they're saying. You watch him on the sideline and the way he approaches things before a drive. You hear some of the things he says in the huddle, and they didn't get into place. Just what Roy is talking about, those intangibles. It's worth going to find to hear him, not just to see it, but to hear him do that.
Yeah.
The other thing, Roy, you were saying, and you've said it all year, and you said it part of last year, and you furthered it this year, is the running back room. You think it's the best it's ever been. Todd Bowles actually argues with you. He says the receiver room is the best room on the team. And boy, oh boy, have they needed that, because obviously with Evans going out and then they go in the 2-minute drill and guys who are not starters are doing things that you would expect out of your Godwins and Evans. And that receiver room is deeper than I think anybody suspected, Roy.
Yeah, and they've got some players in there that no one takes any notice of. Sterling Shepard is one of them, obviously. Ryan Miller was one till he got hurt. Everybody's waking up to Emeka Egbuka. By the way, I guess I haven't looked at it closely, so maybe I'm saying something silly here, but is anybody doing more for any rookie doing more for his team through 3 weeks than Emeka Egbuka?
Tyler Warren in Indianapolis.
Yeah, that's
all right.
The one.
Okay,
that's
that would be the one.
The only one.
Okay, right. But no, it's a great debate between those two rooms. But we've always known that the Bucs have had depth that nobody really pays attention to in the receiver room. I mean, it took until the Super Bowl with Tom Brady for people to realize that Mike Evans was a Hall of Famer, and I think we all knew it 8 years ago. So yeah, but it's hard to argue. But yeah, you've got to hope that that's the case now, because now we're going to see, okay, can Tez Johnson really play at this level? What's he got? Can Cameron Johnson play there? So let's see what happens here. But if they can get Chris Godwin back healthy, well, that would certainly be a big boost.
Well, that's what I'm wondering. Did Wirfs and Godwin practice yesterday? I thought I saw that Godwin did.
Chris Godwin was full go at practice yesterday. Now, what is full go? I don't know. For him, it's full go. Maybe it means he was out there all day and he could do whatever he wanted. Maybe they didn't do much with him. The real question is, how does he respond to a day of practice today? How does he look tomorrow? Is he still, upright and feeling good on Saturday? I think there's right now a 50-50 chance that he and Wirfs both play in this game. The Bucs are going to let them play when they're ready. They won't let them go before they're ready. I don't think that they'll take a chance with Godwin if he's not ready to go, even though they could certainly use him with Mike Evans out. But, there's a possibility that much sooner than anybody thought, they could have Chris Godwin and Tristan Wirfs back in the lineup this Sunday.
Well, and Wirfs is really important because the Eagles are so good in the middle of that defensive front, and getting Barton back to center would be big for this game. I mean, look, Sundays are way different than Saturdays. A win's a win, but the level of competition here the next 4 weeks is going up for the Bucs. So there's no way to me, Roy, you've got to fix the problems on the offensive line. I mean, that first quarter was abysmal. I think they had 5 holding penalties alone in the first quarter of that game. So to win and overcome all of the errors that they had, they have to clean it up against Philly.
Yeah, they really do. They can't let that kind of thing happen. They were fortunate they were playing the Jets. I mean, it was just ridiculous how poorly they played in that first half with all the penalties. They're fortunate to have gotten out of that mess, and fortunate to have gotten out of the game with a victory. But again, it put Baker Mayfield put it all on his shoulders and brought him home. So good for him. But yeah, look, if Tristan Wirfs is back, it solves a lot of problems. As long as he's back and he's ready to go. I mean, if he's only 80%, he'll probably still be as good as anybody out there. But the good news is the Bucs defensively seem to have an answer for Jalen Hurts. They're 1-4 against him. No one really has looked good against their blitz this year. Kurt Warner's been talking about that on Rich Eisen's show a little bit. You can see that quarterbacks are confused by those blitzes. And I think they're going to have to continue to bring them this week defensively, because Jalen Hurts seems to struggle with them too, or he has in the past.
And right, you meant Hurts is 1-4. The Bucs aren't 1-4. The Bucs are 4-1 against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles, including a win in the playoffs. And we're talking the Bucs with Roy Cummings. R. Cummings, FHCN, is if you want to follow him on X. It's strange to say this. This is a good matchup for Tampa Bay, because Philly wants to run the ball. The Bucs don't give up 100 yards. They've yet to give up 100 yards rushing in a game this year. Their strength defensively is against the run. Philly throws it less than most everybody else. The way to gash Tampa Bay is throwing the ball, and they have the receivers to do it. Isn't this surprisingly, don't the Bucs on paper match up pretty well with the Eagles?
Well, it's one of the reasons I think they are. The Bucs 4-1 against Jalen Hurts and the Eagles over the last stretch, because this is a good matchup for them. And yes, it's Saquon Barkley. They know what's coming. Now, do they change it up and throw a little bit more? I mean, it obviously worked for them last week when they had to make an epic comeback. The Eagles, that is. Look, the Bucs are still a team you can pass against. The pass rush is just virtually non-existent. There's holes all over the place in that zone defense. There's holes in the man-to-man defense. You can throw against this team. Everybody's done it so far. I don't see that changing anytime soon. I think Jalen Hurts can take advantage of that. Whether the Eagles put together that kind of a game plan, we'll have to wait and see. But if it's me, I'm scripting a whole lot more pass plays than I am run plays early on.
They got to figure out a way to get some more takeaways, though. That's the one thing about the defense to me. Baker's not turning it over, which is great. But to me, I want to see this defense, and I like the blitzing, a few more takeaways. I think they've had some opportunities. That to me is going to – in any game, it's a difference. But I think this Bucs defense – I don't know about you, Roy, but they've got to force a few more turnovers.
Well, yes. Look, they would have won handily in a couple of these games already had they just held on to the ball. The opportunities are there. It's kind of like a goal scorer in hockey. If you're getting the chances – and you're ringing it off the post, or the goalie's making a great save, okay, you're getting your chances and you feel good about yourselves. I think the Bucs feel pretty good about themselves in terms of being in position to get the ball, take the ball away. They just haven't done it, because we've seen, I can just off the top of my head think of at least 4 or 5 plays where the ball has been right there in their hands, and it's been like a volleyball player spiking it down as opposed to grabbing it and snatching it. So the opportunities are there. You want to take advantage of those opportunities when they come, because a lot of times they slip away, and they can't let that happen.
30 seconds, gut feeling. Are the Bucs healthy enough to beat the Eagles this week?
I think they're healthy enough. I think they're good enough. I think the Eagles are a little bit vulnerable. The Eagles can be beaten, and the Bucs seem to have a formula for beating them. I think it's the blitz. I think they have a way to rattle Jalen Hurts. It's proven out. I think they can do it again. Are they the better team? Maybe by a smidge. The fact that they're at home maybe gives them an edge. And Baker Mayfield, in games like that are tight, who's the better quarterback? It might be Baker Mayfield.
I'll tell you what, though, Jalen Hurts has a lot of Baker Mayfield qualities to him. He may be a little quieter, but he's got a lot of Baker Mayfield, or Baker has a lot of Jalen Hurts. in him. He's Roy Cummings. He covers the Bucs, Bay News 9, Miller and Moulton. Follow him on X, R Cummings FHCN, R Cummings FHCN. Roy, good luck to you and your Cubs, except for later today, and we'll talk to you next week.
I hear you. Thanks, guys.
Roy Cummings joining us here on Miller and Moulton. They play the Mets. I'm a Mets fan. That's why.
For over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to nolanagency.com. That's 941-639-1122 or nolanagency.com.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Cortec. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Cortec. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net. Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 133251.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Yeah, he did. He did. Let me ask you this, Logic Man. Take the quarterbacks out. Which roster do you think is better? Because I think the Eagles roster is much better than the Bucs roster. Difference is Baker. Baker's an MVP candidate right now. Jalen is not. I know he won a Super Bowl. I get it.
Nah, Sonny, he just physically passed the test so that they'd sign him to the practice squad. He's a project.
I think if we did the poll question here, I think it would lean Bucs. But right now, if you were to ask, if you had a poll question, which quarterback would you rather have, Baker Mayfield or Jalen Hurts? I think Baker would win that 75% to 25% logic, man. I do.
I think it was Mark in the chat room here who asked about onside kicks. There's only been one onside kick recovered so far in 3 weeks in the NFL. So the percentage is low. You know, if it wasn't for the blocked field goal return, the Eagles would be 3-0 plus 8 in points, and the Bucs are 3-0 plus 6. However, the Eagles have beaten Dallas, the Chiefs, and the Rams. The Bucs have beaten Atlanta, Houston, and the Jets.
Yeah, no, that's why. I mean, you look at the next 4 weeks for the Bucs. The level of talent. It's Philly, Seattle, San Francisco, Detroit. The next 4.
Right.
Let's see.
Sonny,
I
gave
a little nugget earlier. The last home win for East Carolina against a service academy was in 2004. So, no, I am not betting East Carolina tonight. My son, who is a grad of that school and does his podcast mainly on East Carolina, is scared to death of tonight's game.
Also,
did not like the way they played against BYU at all.
And Army coming off getting whooped by North Texas.
Didn't they come back a little bit in that one, though? Or did, because they were getting whipped.
Is that the one they lost in overtime?
I thought they were
getting whooped.
Killed.
Yeah.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour. Whit Watson to join us in a little more than 15 minutes time so we can overanalyze the Ryder Cup for you. Or maybe we'll underanalyze it. We'll see with Whit coming up in a little more than 15 minutes time. It is one of our poll questions. Who do you think will win the Ryder Cup? We assume most of you are rooting for the U.S., but we're asking you, who do you think will win? Like, I'm picking Europe, 14.5, 13.5, but I'm picking Europe. Mark, you haven't made a pick yet.
Oh, I'm picking Europe.
Okay.
I'm rooting with every fiber in my being for USA. But I don't think we're the better team. I don't.
We shall see. We shall see. You know who I think has a big Ryder Cup? John Rahm. I think John Rahm's a dude.
I know you do. And
I know.
He has not been a dude since he left the PGA Tour. You can win all you want and live. I don't care. How do you do in majors? Because that's where you're measured. I do not give a damn about a 54-hole tournament wearing shorts. I don't.
And he does not look good in shorts.
No, he doesn't.
You know, you have to, as much of a dude as I think he is, okay, that's not a dude look for him.
And
for
if
others,
you don't
maybe.
think sorry, David, but if you don't think he's a dude, just look at the picture of he and his wife at the Ryder Cup Gala.
He's a dude.
He's a dude. He's a dude.
So Whit Watson in about 15 minutes time. Thursday night football, both pro and college tonight. Don't know how many of you get excited. I actually think it's going to be a bit of a slobber knocker. People beginning to question, is Kyler Murray holding the Arizona Cardinals back. Take a look at their wide receiver stats. Everybody heading into last week was focusing on the Eagles' wide receiver stats. Take a look at the Cardinals' wide receiver stats, and they've got receivers for him, and those receivers don't have stats. So Arizona at home, 2-1, and an underdog to the 2-1 Seahawks. These were my two picks to make the playoffs coming from the NFC West in the division that Miller and Moulton admitted we had no gut feeling at all, throwing darts at a dartboard on this one. But 8:15 Amazon Prime, Seattle at Arizona. 45 minutes before that, the college week kicks off. Army getting points on the road at East Carolina, 7:30 ESPN.
I will say you're right in the fact that Arizona does have receivers, but Marvin Harrison Jr., there are a lot of folks, and he even questioned himself. He's supposed to be a dude.
Mm-hmm.
He's not playing like one. And is it Murray or is it Harrison Jr.? And finger pointing is going both ways if you read what's going on in Arizona.
And the reason why I'm beginning to lean towards Harrison, not for the blame either, but for it's the other guy's fault, is it's not like the ball is getting to the other two receivers and not getting to Harrison. Okay, they're not getting to all three guys. Well, there's one common denominator. But you're right, Mark. He's had some key drops also. And, I mean, not like the Jags receivers. And for the record, okay, it's come out this week. The Jags had the most drops in the league. Okay, and yes, Trevor Lawrence makes 2 throws a game at least in which you go, Trevor! Okay, but his receivers are dropping like 8 balls a game. It's a joke, honestly. That's literally your only job is to catch the ball. How can you not be catching the ball? I don't get it. Hope it improves. My goodness. But they got a production problem in Arizona.
Yes, they do. And now without Connor,
yeah,
they're going to need to throw the football. They are. I mean,
listen,
look back at the game last week. What did they? I mean, they lost what? 8, what was it? 16, 15?
Yeah. Well, here's when you know an injury is a big deal. Not when the guys on the radio are saying it's a big deal. When the head coach starts going on and on about, he's the leader of the team. He was a captain. All right. And the leader, and he's like, yeah, it's going to be a tough one to recover from. That's the head coach. That's a problem. I is there a running back who's going to become available or, and obviously
there's talk that Miami could trade their third guy.
Okay.
That's how I'm just
right.
Look, I'm just saying. I kind of went through a couple articles yesterday, David, figuring at some point you're going to start talking NFL trades, and I wanted to be ready for you. That's all.
I mean, if Tyron Tracy hadn't gotten hurt with the Giants, I guess there's a chance that Devin Singletary would have been made available, but Tracy just had his shoulder busted. He's going to miss, probably a month. So I don't know if Singletary will hit the market. Yeah, it's time to start looking. You got to figure, the Titans have already started trading guys. You got to figure the loser Monday night between the Jets and the Dolphins starts unloading people, right?
Well, I'm glad you brought that up because we all know if the Dolphins lose the game, everybody's gone. I mean, they're done.
Yes.
Greer, McDaniel, and probably Tua. I've argued with David. We won't get into it. The money after June 1, I think that they can absorb. Maybe they can't, but we'll see. But regardless, even if Tua stays, it's for another year and he's done.
Right.
So Monday is the regime.
Yes.
But with that being said, is Greer going to start trading guys when essentially his ass is on the line to lose his job? Because there are players. Hill could get traded. Phillips could get traded. I mean, there are guys that are in the last year of their deals that could be dealt, but will Greer do it to help the next guy with draft picks? I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it will be to help the next guy with draft picks as much as Stephen Ross may make a phone call and go, hey, Chris, if we're going to be 0-4, do we have to be paying as many guys as we're paying the money we're paying them? How about you unload some salary for me? Since we're losing, I might as well not be spending all this money. What do you say? So that's also what I would look at. I'd start looking at some guys who have a few dollars next to them on the stat sheet, and they become readily available when you're 0-4.
100%. 100% agree with that. But I'm just curious when it comes to Miami, because we all know it's a regime change. If this doesn't work, how many guys actually get dealt? We will see. Monday night, Dolphins and Jets should be a barn burner.
But then again, it's Cincinnati, Denver over on ABC. Did you see where Bo Nix, according to Pro Football Focus, is rated the worst quarterback in the league so far this year?
Okay.
No, seriously, he's 36th. Sean Payton keeps saying it's him. To Sean Payton's credit, and Sean Payton's got a temper, okay? When Sean Payton turns on you, he doesn't hide it. To Sean Payton's credit, he keeps saying it's him, that it's his play calling. He's not doing a good job. The defense has allowed late scores to lose back-to-back games. They, to their credit, is saying, hey, we're supposed to be better than this, okay? So far, none of this has fallen on Nix. But Pro Football Focus came out and said he's been the worst quarterback in the league through 3 games this year.
Wow. I thought he was the second coming of Joe Montana. That's what we've been told. He's the second coming of Joe Montana, for crying out loud.
Well, just not in September of 2025, apparently.
Miller and Moulton. Good news for them. They get Cincinnati this week. Things should change. We will get talking more Ryder Cup. Whit Watson joins us next. Thanks for listening.
Think we only fix windows? Think again. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business does so much more to upgrade your home. We custom build stunning shower and bath enclosures, install sleek glass doors and windows, and can bring fresh life to foggy or cracked panes. Need a glass tabletop or a statement mirror? Yep, we do that too. If it's glass and it's in your home, we're the team to call.
Call the Glass Doctor, we fix your pains. Oh yeah.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and
So I
sound.
asked him at Floor Meisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floor Meisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floor Meisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floor Meisters. FloorMeisters.com.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Be safe.
Wow. According to Front Office Sports, some Long Island rentals are getting $30,000 for a 4-night stay. Front Office Sports reporting, David, that locals are, renting their places, Verbo and what have you. Some are getting $30K for 4 nights.
For the Ryder?
Uh-huh. Jeez.
Sonny, I got to see UCF on the road do something in the Big 12. What did they have? The really close loss at Oklahoma, their first year in the Big 12. They played Oklahoma really tough, but UCF on the road in the Big 12 has been a disaster.
And they still can't stop the run until they can play physically with these teams. I'm with David.
But K-State's a mess. UCF's unbeaten.
It's a get right game for K-State.
Could be.
We'll see. Hope you're right.
Thought it was interesting when we had Bud Elliott on yesterday, in which he said that most all the teams in the Big 12 are on an even financial playing field except Texas Tech. And then he stopped and he said, well, except for Cincinnati and UCF. So, that, and he didn't mean that you were ahead of the pack. He meant you were behind.
I messed up this morning. I should have put a little more pressure on my wife to bring me breakfast. She doesn't do enough, David. Because I could really go for that Cuban joint right now. I think I'm going to press her a couple Thursdays from now and her next day off to bring it in, not for me, but I may even treat the other 2 studios to a little Cuban breakfast. Get everybody fed for about $12. No better deal. 2 best deals down here. 2 best deals in Estero are that place and the Dos Saboros Mexican place.
Welcome back to Miller and Moulton. Text the guys what's in your mind at 21,000. That's 21000. And now, here's David Moulton.
22 minutes till the top of the hour. It's when JP Shadrick will join us to talk Jags, who are 2-1. That should be 3-0. But JP Shadrick to join us coming up in a matter of moments. Whit Watson now kind enough to join us so we can overanalyze this Ryder Cup a little bit more. I mean, Whit, don't you think sometimes maybe us golf nerds go a little overboard? I mean, come on. 24 great players, grip it, rip it, find it, putt it. Whoever makes more putts wins, right?
Listen, this is such a great week because we can exactly do what you just said and overanalyze this to death. And it's the best venue in the world for a Ryder Cup, Bethpage Black. We can't wait to see what the crowd does with Rory and with Justin Rose. And it's just so much fun. You know, these are the weeks. The four majors and the Ryder Cup are the weeks when we all get so geeked and so we overanalyze to death everything. But, you know, on Friday morning, balls in the air, then it's just a lot of fun. I totally agree with you. This is a great week for golf.
Whit Watson, Golf Channel, NBC, ESPN Plus with PGA Tour Live. He also hosts Making the Cut Saturday mornings in both Orlando and Jacksonville. Follow him on X at Real Whit Watson, Wheel Whit Watson.
All right, Whit, you said the best venue for this tournament. Some have been critical, Paul Azinger in particular, saying, you know, the guys don't play this as much. It doesn't give us an advantage that other courses do. Why do you feel this course is the perfect venue? And does it give the Americans an advantage outside of the crowd?
So I was talking about this on an iHeart station here in Orlando a couple of days ago. The home team always has the advantage because they get to set up the golf course the way they want to set it up. So the PGA of America, Keegan Bradley and his vice captains can do whatever they want to do with the golf course to favor their players. So if they want to pinch a fairway, they can pinch a fairway. If they want to shave down the rough, they can do that. And Bethpage, which is a difficult golf course, is not going to play like a U.S. Open or a PGA Championship venue this week. They're going to set up the golf course so that there can be recovery shots. They want heroes. They want birdies. They don't want to punish the players the way that a U.S. Open does. They want birdies. They want something to happen on each hole. And back to your point about Bethpage and the home team, you know, this is the golf fans in New York are very savvy. They're boisterous. They love their teams. And this week, the U.S. Ryder Cup team is their team. This week, they are the Jets or the Giants. They're going to be boisterously in favor of their squad. I think this is the ultimate venue for a team competition in golf, which doesn't typically get, you know, really excited crowds outside the four majors. It's going to be a lot of fun to watch for the next 3 days.
Well, and of course, tongue in cheek, we sure hope the U.S. team performs better than the Jets and the Giants. But hello.
Fair enough.
Yeah. Listen, if you're Keegan Bradley, like Europe, Mark has pointed out all week on this show that Europe has a tendency to ride their horses. They've had Ryder Cups where three guys have not played Friday and Saturday, and they just play Sunday singles. The U.S., you're a little more democratic. If you're Keegan, who do you look at and go, he's a horse, he's a horse, he's a horse?
So the guy that I think is going to be really interesting this week, I think the player for the U.S. side that's going to have the most attention on him is Bryson DeChambeau, because number one, he doesn't play on the PGA Tour. He's playing for Liv. And yet, of all the Liv players, he's the one guy that we are still kind of sympathetic towards, right? Like, he's the guy that's liked the most of those that went to Liv. And arguably, he is the most spirited of the 12 that are playing for the U.S. side. He also is the guy that he's the most difficult player to figure out if you're the captain. If you're doing foursomes, alternate shot, who do you pair with him? Who plays with him? Bryson hits it places off the tee that nobody else can hit it. He has a great short game, but his iron game, candidly, this year has not been very good. So who do you pair him with? I think that's going to be a fascinating. I'm really interested to see what they decide to do with Bryson during the foursomes and in singles. Who is he going to play against? I think he's the wild card for the Americans this week, for sure.
When it comes to everything, I agree with everything you said. Scheffler's obviously the guy to me, and I've said it for a while. If I'm Keegan Bradley, I would have told him months ago, you're playing in all 5 matches. Get ready, because I need 4 points out of you if we're going to win this thing. Do you think we see, I don't know about a different Scotty Scheffler, because sometimes he shows emotion. Before it was a little anger, and he calmed that down, and it's changed his game. Do you see, a coming out party of emotion from Scotty Scheffler where he tries to ride the crowd, or is it the same guy that's pretty stoic out there and just does his job?
That's a great question. I don't think he changes. I think if we learned anything about Scheffler over the last couple of years, is that he is who he is, and he's not going to change based on the event. I mean, he went out to Napa to play the Pro Tour, where most of his teammates played with him to get ready for the Ryder Cup, and just dusted the field. I mean, he just does what he does. I don't think he changes based on the event. I agree with you. I think that they need everything that he's got for the next 3 days. But he is the number one ranked player in the world, and he's there for a reason. And I just think he's going to be Scotty. I don't think you're going to see. I would love to see it, and I understand the question. Like, I'd love to see him kind of burst out and be more emotional and be like an Ian Poulter with the bug eyes, or be Justin Rose with the duck walk. Like, I'd love to see him do something different. But I think they can win without him doing that. I think they can win with him just being Scotty Scheffler, which is the best player in the world.
I have a feeling, by the way, the New York crowds, I'm big into the U.S. Open tennis tournament. Sampras was never their guy. It was Connors, it was McEnroe, it was Agassi. It wasn't Sampras. Okay, but midway through, when Sampras's greatness was so apparent, the New York crowd was like, yeah, okay, you're an American.
Okay.
You know what? You know what? It's been our fault that we have not cheered for you more. And I have a feeling this is going to be the moment where this crowd is going to go overboard for Scheffler, because they're going to be like, dude, you're great. It's been our bad that we didn't jump on board 2 years ago. I actually think they're going to go crazy for Scheffler. I think he's going to be, remember Duval at Brookline, in which he looked like Steve Ballmer and Steve Jobs up on stage dancing? Okay, and it was so awkward, but it was so great to see. I actually think this crowd is going to bring something out of Scheffler that we've never seen on the course before.
That's a great reference, by the way, to Steve Ballmer, the dance routine. I'm with you. I don't think that Scheffler needs any more acclaim than what he's already got, but I'm with you on the idea that the crowd may lift him a little bit this week. Again, like I said, I don't think he's going to change the way he does business, but you can't deny how great he's been. I mean, the last 2 years, the last 3 years have been a run for Scheffler. Go look up the stats. Go look at his results. I mean, this is Tiger Woods 2.0, and he's still young, Chef. He's still got time. I would love to see that kind of breakout week, but I'll go back to my previous point. They don't need Scheffler to go outside of his comfort zone. The U.S. team doesn't need him to do anything different other than to be Scotty Scheffler for 3 days. And if he just plays the way he plays, they're in good shape.
Talking with Whit Watson, real Whit Watson on X. All right, let's look at the other side, because I think on paper the European team 1-12 is better than ours, but the home crowd will make a difference. When you look at the Euros, is there a guy that you think could have rabbit ears? Because I love Terrell Hatton, and I love him because he wears his emotions on his sleeves. But if he blows up, the crowd's going to be all over him. Can he handle it, or is there another European player that you think might succumb to the pressure of the American crowd?
That's a good question, too. I think Hatton is kind of used to it at this point. I think Hatton lives on that energy. That's kind of the way he plays. Whether the crowd is with him or against him, he's an emotional guy, and that's just how he plays, and he's been very successful playing that way. I don't see a certain player that's going to be a liability on the European side. I see a couple of guys that might actually embrace the negative energy, and I point specifically to Rory McIlroy and Justin Rose, who have been there and done that and are accustomed to that level of attention, and they might actually feed off of it. I really think there's been a lot of talk. You guys have read all the same stuff that I have, and in terms of how the crowd is going to affect the European side. I don't think that it's going to be as negative as it's been portrayed. I think it's going to be a pretty fun celebration of the game. And I think that the European players, most of whom play on the PGA Tour week in and week out, are going to kind of get into it. And I think, I'm not really buying into the narrative about the crowd somehow taking one or two European players out of it. I think it's going to be, like I said, a celebration.
Talking Ryder Cup with Whit Watson. Listen, to me, this is all about foursomes or alternate shot. 2 years ago, we got beat 7-1. For whatever reason, the Euros seem more interchangeable than our guys. Don't you think this is where Keegan earns his money this week? Okay, I think you could pair just about anybody, quite frankly, in best ball. And the singles, I think the teams are very even. But, man, they kick our butt in four ball, all right? I mean, or foursomes, excuse me. Don't you think the first session tomorrow is monstrous?
Yes. Yeah, you're being kind. We suck at foursomes. We're terrible at it, the Americans, and because we don't play it. And it's funny. I was talking to my dad, who's 81 years old and has done a lot of European golf trips with his buddies. If you go to Ireland or Scotland and play golf with, your mates, they play alternate shot all the time. The kids grow up playing in that format, because it gets all four players involved. Every shot matters, and every player in the group has a role in the outcome. The U.S. players, the young kids that come up through U.S. golf, they never play that format. And because, we're Americans, we have to win. It's me against you. Total score matters. So historically, if you go back and look at the records in the Ryder Cup, the foursomes are usually what decide the competition. And it's not like our guys can't play that format. They just don't play it very often. And, outside of the Zurich Classic in New Orleans, there's no competition on a regular schedule that allows the U.S. players to prepare for this. And I'll go back to the DeChambeau point. Like, if you're going to send him out in foursomes, who do you pair him with? And to your point, that's where Keegan's going to earn his money. Who do you pair? How do you solve that problem? The fact that the U.S. team has never been good at alternate shot. And how do you get to a point where going into Sunday singles, you're not down 10-6? How do you get it to where you're like 8-8 or, within 2 points of each other, and then singles can actually decide it? That's where Keegan is going to be measured as a captain, is what does he do to solve that American problem, which is that we have never been very good at alternate shot.
We've got about a minute left, but I am curious. Patrick Cantlay, the human rain delay. Who do you play him against that it might bother how slowly he plays?
So I've seen something about this week. The ideal situation in Sunday singles is to have him playing singles against Tyrrell Hatton, who is the fastest player on any tour in the world. So how do you somehow maneuver it to where he's playing Hatton and can absolutely drive him crazy with his pace of play? That would be a lot of fun to watch. Cantlay, though, he's a monster, man. He's great in this format. He's an absolute killer, and it's going to be just so much fun to watch on Sunday.
Whit Watson, whether it's Golf Channel, NBC, ESPN Plus with PGA Tour Live, listen to Making the Cut. Saturday mornings, iHeart app. He's on a station in Orlando, 96.9 The Game, and he's also on in Jacksonville. And follow Whit on X at Real Whit Watson, Real Whit Watson. Whit, enjoy the Ryder Cup. Thanks for giving us some time, and we'll talk soon.
All right, sounds good. Enjoy the week, everybody.
JP Shadrick to talk the Jags next.
Shoeless Joe's Sports Cafe, your home for all the football and baseball that September provides, plus a nightly food special. Got bingo and trivia Tuesdays and Thursdays, live music Fridays, karaoke Saturdays. Never mind the fact that Shoeless Joe's is going to celebrate Grandparents' Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Cheeseburger Day, all in the month of September. Food and drink specials during every NFL game. Shoeless Joe's, the official home for Ohio State football. Shoeless Joe's, good food, good times, good sports in the Doubletree by Hilton. Bell Tower Shops, Fort Myers.
Got a cracked window or foggy glass? Don't wait for the next storm to make it worse. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business is just down the road and ready to help. From leaky frames to shattered panes, we've got the tools and the know-how to get your home or business storm ready. With flexible scheduling and our done right promise, you'll be in good hands. So before or after the weather hits, call your neighbors at Glass Doctor.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor. We fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512. American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
Football season is back, and celebrate your game day with Jimmy the Beef Guy. We're talking tender, juicy Chicago beef sandwiches. Whether your party's for 10, 100, or 200, bring game day to your house with Jimmy the Beef Guy. The catering packages come with the beef, the gravy, the peppers, the bread, everything you need. 2 convenient locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. Skip the ordinary and bring the beef. Jimmy the Beef Guy, Chicago flavor, Southwest Florida style. Call today or visit jimmythebeefguy.com. Tell him Miller and Moulton sent you.
This is Miller and Moulton.
Morning, JP.
Good morning. Can we get a Jimmy the Beef Guy location in Jacksonville? That'd be awesome.
It's so good.
It looks good. I just went to their website. Holy smokes.
It's really good. I'm a fan. It's right by my daughter's school, so when I pick her up on Wednesdays, I stop in there and knock down a sandwich.
Wow. That is, yeah, I love that stuff, man. Oof.
So I have a question for you. It's our poll question. Today is One Hit Wonder Day. Your favorite all-time one-hit wonder. You're a music guy. I figured you'd have something here for me. Our 4 that we have on are Come On Eileen, Ice Ice Baby, 8675309 Jenny, and Who Let the Dogs Out. There are many more, but those are the 4 we chose. Probably made a mistake with Who Let the Dogs Out. Nobody cares.
But who let them out is the great question, right? It really is a difficult question we don't know the answer to.
I think it was the kids.
Would you count Mississippi Queen by Mountain as a one-hit wonder? Did they have any other hits?
Wow, I do not know if Mountain had another. That's digging deep in the archives, going a little something. Going right to your roots.
I don't know if they had any other hits. Like that's the one I know. You know.
I've got the VH1 Top 100 in front of me. I don't even know if that.
Just see deep tracks. What about like? What were the other options on the 4 that you had?
Come On Eileen.
Okay.
Who Let the Dogs Out? 8675309 Jenny, and Ice Ice Baby.
I mean, I don't mind the Jenny song. That's pretty good. So put a whole phone number in a song, and put her phone number in the song. I wonder who has that number now.
I know I've tried to prank call it all of my life, but I do that. I don't know if you follow that 70s sports on X, but he's got all these shirts, and he literally has a black shirt and white like graffiti type numbers that has the phone number on it, and that's the whole shirt.
Pretty good shirt. Nice.
I think we'd have to, by the way, because the second song that they're most known for was Long Red, which had a nice guitar solo in it, and it didn't appear anywhere. I guess
I will say one of our listeners, Ram Jam, that's a pretty good pull right there for a one-hit wonder.
Yeah.
With Black Betty.
No, the Knack had more than just the one.
The Knack had at least 2, but I know where you're at with My Sharona. I get it. The Twitch audience coming through hard.
They always do.
When it's about sports, they're kind of interested. Something that involves trivia or a free T-shirt, all over it.
Mm-hmm. If it's free, it's for me.
Spoken like a true member of the media. Where's the dinner?
Right. Yeah. What time's dinner?
It was my when I worked for the minor league hockey team here, and we had our first press conference. I said, we got to do it at my boss. I said, we got to have it at lunch, and we got to feed them. We start right away feeding the media. They will like us.
We had, when I did Jacksonville Suns AA baseball, I was a PR director as well. So PR and broadcasting. So I had to coordinate the press box food.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton, coming at you from the Floor Meister Studios. Floor Meisters, keeping it real. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
It is the bonus hour on this Thursday. That means JP Shadrick, Touchdown Radio Network and Westwood One, calling college and pro football. Part of the Jags Radio Network. Follow him on X at JP Shadrick, SHADRICK. It's been a while since we've talked to you, and the Jags have, end of September haven't been, awful. This is nice. I like this. Hopefully we can do more of this. Should I emphasize the positive, or can I just start screaming and yelling about, can anybody on this team catch the ball?
The answer right now is no. The other answer is, you know what? Yeah, they've won games. They've won 2 games. They probably should have won 3 games, but they didn't. They're 2-1. That's what they are. There's a lot to clean up, but there's some positive. They showed last week that in an adverse situation, they can make plays on defense, and they can get after the quarterback. And they are like the best, I think, second best tandem in terms of defensive ends and quarterback pressures in the NFL. That's a little subjective. I mean, there's no official statistic on that, but you see it. Different publications have different meanings for that. However, they are getting home. Josh Hines-Allen has the tip ball in the final interception of the game. 3 takeaways in the second half for this defense, 2 of them when it really mattered. One was when it was tied and they were driving, another when they were leading and had to close it out. So that's positive. The other part of this thing is that there is plenty to clean up on the offensive side of the football. The drops are the number one issue. Brian Thomas Jr., another horrible day until the big catch and run. And, okay, maybe that sparks something for him. That's good to see. And you love to see him at least stay in the game, and they checked out of a run to get to that play, and they executed it perfectly, which is great. But the drop issue seemed contagious. Parker Washington had a couple. I think there were 6 or 7 total drops in the game. That's got to go away. Penalties are still an issue on offense. Illegal shift again. They're working. There's a lot of moving parts pre-snap for this offense. So, yeah, there's a lot to work on. The quarterback's got to be better too. He's got to be cleaner. He's got to be more consistent down the field, and he just hasn't hit the big one yet. And guys aren't catching it for him, but there's other ones that he's missing, and that's got to improve as it moves forward.
And the positive, the big positive, and you kind of alluded to it there, 9 takeaways. That equals their total from last year. They've done this in 3 games. If I'm a Jags fan, I'm very much glass half full because of all the things you said on the negative side that seem to be easy fixes. Catch the damn ball. I mean, if that just happens, the offense improves immensely. But this defense, not only getting after the quarterback, but the pressures are forcing turnovers, and this is something they didn't do a year ago. And, I mean, come on, every coach says it. You got to win the turnover battle. Well, when you do that, you're going to win more games than you lose. And right now, for whatever reason, Jacksonville's found a little magic on the defensive side of the football.
Yeah, they have. It's not quite the Saxonville group of 2017 yet. I mean, that group had some spice, an extra layer of spice on their Chicago beef sandwiches, if you will, from Jimmy the Beef Guy, right? So that was a totally unique group. This is they're forming. They've got some veteran guys in the secondary who can play. They're in the right spot. They know how to communicate. They've got a linebacker who's played a lot of football. Devin Lloyd's playing better as well beside him, which is great to see. And the guys can get after it in the pass rush and stop the run. So that's a great part of this defense. And it's all self-inflicted on the other side. It feels like, at least internally in the building, yeah, this is stuff we can control, guys. Like, hey, there's a lot of football left, but let's correct some of this, and we can get off and running here pretty early.
I hope everyone's appreciative. It's one thing for Miller and Moulton to work some of their sponsors into their show while they're hosting it, but for a guest to work one of Miller and Moulton's sponsors into his guest appearance, that is why he is a network talent. He is JP Shadrick.
Well, advertising works, David. Advertising works.
Thank you, JP. Thank you. Follow him on X at JP Shadrick. So how much credit we giving the defensive coordinator here? It's 3 weeks, but like Mark and you have talked about here, this defense was a sieve last year. Gave up almost 6 yards to carry on the rush. Didn't force any turnovers. They're balling. They won that game Sunday in the fourth quarter.
A lot of it has to go to Anthony Campanelli. It's his first time as a coordinator in the NFL. He's been a coordinator in college before, but working his way up in the NFL and dialing it up. And, it helps when you can stop the run. It starts with that. That's their number one priority. They're working a lot of twists and games up front on the defensive line. So a lot of stunts and getting guys free, and that communication's been fantastic. And they've got Eric Armstead on the inside who's helping some of that. He's starting to play a little bit better, which is great to see. And then, of course, the end guys are playing well. So you start with that, and then occasional pressure. He'll bring some different pressures when he needs to. They're not afraid to do that. And for the most part, in the back end, they're looking at the quarterback playing zone. They can man up when they need to on the outside. Like Travis Hunter is a really good man cornerback, but he's really good when he's staring at the quarterback and jumping on the football. So I think you're going to see more of him on defense as well moving ahead. That's just continue to increase. Last week was the first time he played more defense than offense. We'll see about De'Ami Brown and his status, the wide receiver, and see if Hunter has to play more there also. But, defense has been that's been a fantastic we thought it'd take a little bit longer for the defense, right? Maybe the offense was going to be there and they'd run the ball and do some things, but it's a little slow starting on offense. But boy, that defense is there, and it's a complimentary game. As long as you have a side or two of the ball playing well, then you can hang in a lot of games.
5th in the league for that run defense right now, 82 yards a game against, which is fantastic. And on the offensive side, Trevor has struggled. We've talked about that, but the running game going well. A lot of people, when they got rid of Bigsby, wondered why. Looks like they've got a good complementary back that can hammer things home, and ATN's played pretty well. I mean, the running game last year, we looked at Jacksonville and it was 3rd and 1, 3rd and 2. It's like, well, they're going to have to throw to get a first down. That doesn't seem to be the case this year, JP.
Yeah, it's fun to watch this offensive line work. They like to run them a little bit and move them some, and then they have the tight ends that can block, and they love the line him up as a wing on the right side and then bring him across and wham block and do all those things with Brenton Strange. That's fun to watch. If you like running football, if you watch Penn State, that's where Brenton Strange came from. It's the same idea. He's doing a lot of that stuff, and then they're running well behind it. ETN is in a contract year, but he's motivated anyway. I mean, I think he's had the right mindset this entire offseason, even when there was the running back competition, air quotes, right? He just dealt with it the right way. He didn't take it personally, right? And then Bashal Tutin's been a fantastic addition. He's not scared to run it up in between the tackles, and we haven't even really seen him break it loose wide yet. When he does and he has space, he has 4.33 speed. So let's see that. LaQuinn Allen, rookie running back as well as in the passing game, really good in pass protection. So that's a good trio. They love that group in the backfield.
We were talking the Bucs an hour ago, and while we're happy they're 3-0, their next 4 games, it's a totally different level of competition than what they've played. Can't the same be said for the Jags, Niners, Chiefs, Seahawks, Rams? It's kind of like, okay, this is nice, but now we go to a little different level.
Well, now we're about to find out, right? This early season hype and things are going okay. You better clean things up on the offensive side, or some of those teams will just run up and down the field on you, right? I mean, you're not going to kick field goals and win some of those games. So you got to punch it in the red zone when you're there. Trevor Lawrence can't be throwing red zone interceptions anymore. That's got to stop. That's got to stop. He can't. I mean, the interception last week wasn't in the red zone, but I mean it was just a bad decision. He had another guy open and didn't look. He just let it go anyway. So he's got to clean some of that up as well. So, but that said, I don't think this team is intimidated by the schedule. I don't think this team is like, oh, gosh, the Chiefs are coming in. Oh, gosh, here come the Rams in London. Like, they feel like they can line up and get to the fourth quarter with pretty much anybody right now, even with all the mistakes. And then the confidence of a win last week when they probably should have lost. Okay, we found a way. Let's just keep, cobbling this together and see what happens. And I don't think – and I'm with you, Dave. Going into the season, it's like, boy, this first half before the bye week, there's a lot of playoff teams on the schedule, right? But now, 4 weeks in, it's like, all right, the Jags have a little more juice than you might think. So I wouldn't underestimate what the Jags could do in the next month.
What grade do you give Liam Cohen at this point? Now, as a cursor, I give him an A+, and I didn't know he had it in him. I mean, these post-game speeches are worth watching if you haven't paid attention yet, because he can let them fly. But what grade do you give the head coach so far, JP?
Yeah, I think he's doing a really sound job here. I want to leave a little room for growth. So I'm going to give him a B, even B. I think it's a fantastic job that he's done so far in terms of the messaging, the leadership, and what he wants this team to be, what he wants this organization to be. That's been all offseason building the culture here, and they've played like it. They've actually exhibited that on the field, and the way they go about their business day to day, and walking in that locker room Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday to talk to this team. It's like you hear the same things. It's like they are buying in to what Liam has to say. It's a younger approach. He's 39. Like he's not going to sugarcoat much. He's a really competitive guy too. And the fact that a lot of those post-game comments are out there that's a credit to the organization for allowing it. First of all, that's the number one thing. A lot of those places wouldn't, especially when they lose. They did a losing locker room after game thing that they put out 2 weeks ago in Cincinnati. I've never seen that before. So the fact that he's allowing that and the team's allowing that, and it just kind of shows the transparency that Liam wants. And he doesn't want to hide anything from the fans, and he's leading the team pretty well, and they've got things to work on. But this has been fun to be around so far, and I'm excited for the next month or so with this schedule ahead to see how they handle some more adversity, because it will come, and I think Liam will handle it well.
Jags in Santa Clara to take on the banged up Niners, and we'll see if it's Mac Jones facing the Jags. And then, yes, a week from Monday, the Jags will have a Monday nighter with the Chiefs. He's JP Shadrick, Jags Radio Network, Touchdown Radio Network, Westwood One. Follow him on X at JP Shadrick. JP, be well. Thanks.
See you guys.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 13325. For over 50 years, the Nolan family has been dedicated to protecting local families. Nolan Family Insurance is a second-generation independent agency that specializes in home, flood, auto, and boat insurance. They take the time needed to explain your coverage options and answer your questions so you can make an informed decision that's right for you. If you're looking for an agency that treats you like family, call 941-639-1122 or go to nolanagency.com. That's 941-639-1122 or nolanagency.com.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters, floormeisters.com.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
This is Miller and Moulton.
I didn't even look. Does he have a game on Saturday this week with everything going on?
I don't believe so.
He doesn't travel with the Jags, right?
He does to Europe.
He does, but he doesn't for the most road games, right?
No.
So if you were to tell someone in Jacksonville, and I know you don't go out a lot, David, but on a Sunday to go watch football, where would you send them?
Yeah, I would have no idea because
All
I
right.
literally have never been in Jacksonville on a Sunday during the NFL season.
All right.
So, yeah.
I only ask because the looks of it that my boy's going to fly down the whole week prior to the cocktail party.
Oh, okay.
And then we're going to drive up together. But on the Sunday, I'm going to come back alone and let him fly because there's a Jacksonville to Raleigh flight, but it's not until like 5:30. So I'll be out by, 10:30, 11, and he's going to have to kill some time.
Well, two things, though. The airport's 30 minutes north. Well,
Oh, I know. He's going to have a hell of an Uber because we're way south. We're staying south of the city.
okay. Well,
We're at the World of Golf. Where,
you're definitely, yeah.
like
you're
an
way-
hour.
Oh,
He's
yeah.
an hour Uber ride.
Yeah. I'll ask some people.
David has some personal things going on, Kenzie. He's actually not even doing his podcast. When he's back doing his podcast, I would expect he'll be back with us, and it's really TBD right now.
Tentatively, he's planning to get back to work next week. And I do think he would then come on with us, but that's very tentative right now.
Trent will be handling the 9 a.m. hour on Tuesday.
Okay.
Because I have to catch a flight, and unfortunately, I got to deal with Denver rush hour morning traffic. So I need to make sure
How
I
many
make my flight.
connections do you have from?
No, believe it or not, it's part of the reason
You got a
why
direct from Denver?
it's the one a day.
Oh, nice.
I know.
Oh yeah, we both text with Felipe occasionally.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah, he's all about the you right now.
In fact, every time I go to that Milano's Cuban place, I send him a picture of my breakfast.
He is Logic Man. At least he says he is to us.
Yeah.
I think he's still with his lady, and the work is going well.
In the mobile gas station at the corner of Ben Hill and Corkscrew. It's fantastic, and it's the best deal in Estero. Better deal than Dos Sabores, and that's hard to say. Two best deals for food in Estero are the Cuban joint for breakfast foods and Dos Sabores for lunch or dinner. Oh, Philly jumped on the bandwagon. His dad used to take him to all. He's got a jersey. You know, I mean, his dad and he and his brother went to a lot of games growing up. So he's fans of all the teams.
Yeah, he's like Trent. He's, approaching mid-20s, so he's a bandwagon guy.
But I mean, who was it? Was it Who was the jersey that he had? Was it the Brian Strickland?
Yeah, from the Cup run in '96.
That's the jersey he has. That's
Scrudlin?
Scrudlin. Sorry. Nick, you might be the only one, but that's just this market, and the Tampa market, and the Jacksonville market.
You're listening to Miller and Moulton. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
21 minutes past the hour on this Thursday. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Couple of fun poll questions. One, sports, golf. Who do you think will win the Ryder Cup? Not who you're rooting for. Who do you think will win? Is it still 50-50 or thereabouts?
No. It's almost 2/3 going USA.
Ooh, then the second half of the show, big push for red, white, and blue. Okay. All right, because it was 50-50 for the first half of the show. And today is what, National One Hit Wonder Day?
Yes, it is. And we put up 4 songs. There are 1 million to choose from, or at least 100 that I had on a list from the VH1 Top 100 One Hit Wonders. But we picked 4. Come On Eileen, Ice Ice Baby, 8675309 Jenny, and Who Let the Dogs Out. And Come On Eileen took the early lead, has been riding the rail throughout the show, still leading. But Ice Ice Baby now tied with 8675309.
Oh, wow.
As we battle in the final quarter mile here at the Belmont.
And down the stretch they come. So we just had JP Shadrick on. JP is a University of Alabama alum and grew up in Alabama. And we didn't have time to get into it. But Mark, earlier in the week, we were talking about the SEC, and they announced who the 3 permanent opponents are going to be for the next 4 years in football. And then also they're going to the rotating thing where, hey, once every 2 years, you'll play everybody at least once in the conference. And once every 4 years, you'll host everybody in the conference at least once. And Mark, this little factoid may be the reason why, for those that don't like the new scheduling that the SEC is going to go to, because you don't like the teams that your team has been, given
as your permanent matchups. Mark, do you know when the last time Alabama played Georgia in Athens?
In Athens, is that Mark Richt days when they wore the black jerseys and Alabama just wiped the floor with them?
That was the second to last time
Okay.
that they played, because that, believe it or not, was the 2008 season. Georgia was preseason number 1. They went to Arizona State early in the year, got a win, nationally televised. They came home, ESPN, prime time. Okay, and Georgia the year before had worn the All Blacks against Auburn. Place went crazy. Was lucky enough to be there. Georgia with a rousing win. And so they tried the same thing against Nick and the 08 Bama team. And I think, Mark, mid-second quarter was 31-0 Alabama.
Sounds about right. It was a game you could turn off early. There's no doubt.
And believe it or not, okay, that was before the Obama administration when that game was played. This game has only been played one other time in the last 17 years in Athens. And it was 10 years ago. Derrick Henry was the tailback, and Kirby Smart was the defensive coordinator for Alabama. That's how long ago it's been since Alabama has played Georgia in Athens. The irony is, I think Kirby's played Alabama 7 times. Between Atlanta and Tuscaloosa, I think he's played them 7 times. This will be the first time Bama comes between the hedges with Kirby as Georgia coach. That, to me, Mark, has to be why what the SEC announced this week is better than what we have now. I mean, come on. Georgia fans deserve to see Alabama more than once every 10 years.
No, exactly. And I looked at, I think it's next year's schedule. Georgia hosts LSU. And I know they've played they did have a home and home somewhat recently, but they haven't played very often either in the last quarter century.
I can remember the game. I might be off on the year, but I think it was 2013, the last time that LSU came to Georgia.
So I think, and, looking at this with the Big Ten with 600 teams, what the SEC is going to give the fans is every 4 years, you're going to get a home game with everybody. And I know, talking to a few Georgia fans, they're upset that they didn't get Tennessee and they got South Carolina. But trust me, I think with the other 2 teams you're better off with Auburn, Florida, and South Carolina. Yeah, I know LSU and Alabama aren't going to play every year anymore. I get that bothers some folks. I know that Florida doesn't necessarily love their opponents because there's no more LSU, and that's turned into a nice rivalry. But look at what you're going to get every year from a home game standpoint, and I think it's much better. I really do.
The other thing is, this is just a 4-year window. They may decide. So this will be 26, 27, 28, 29. They may decide by 2030, you know what? Let's change a team on this permanent list. And it'll be interesting. Like, Alabama's got Auburn, Tennessee, Mississippi State. First off, they try really hard not to give a school 3 quote unquote good teams. I mean, they don't want it to be unfairly weighted in that way, just like they don't want to give a school 3 quote unquote usually bad teams. But I'm curious. I mean, do you see them ever changing Alabama's 3 teams? I mean, Tennessee ain't ever leaving, and Auburn ain't ever leaving.
No, I don't. And as you pointed out, how far is it from Starkville to Tuscaloosa?
70 miles connected by a highway.
I mean, I know Mississippi State doesn't hold up their end of the bargain, but to the Mississippi State fan, that game's a big deal. It's not as big to Alabama. I say the same thing. Georgia got South Carolina. Well, in Athens, they don't think that's as big of a deal. They would probably rather see Tennessee every year. But trust me, in Columbia, South Carolina, that's a big deal every time they host the Dogs.
So, but I just thought, Derrick Henry, that was his Heisman Trophy winning year. By the way, Alabama was an underdog in that game. Wasn't it a couple years ago? Bama was a slight underdog in a game, and it was like, this is the first time Alabama's been an underdog in a regular season game since. It was since the 2015 game in Athens. They were like a 2-point dog at kickoff. And it was pretty much the last time Nick Saban was ever an underdog in a regular season game. Technically the game of the century in some places. LSU was a 1-point favorite, but that was 2011. So anyway, Derrick Henry began his Heisman March, by the way. It was October of 2015, and he began it running like 35 times for about 250 against Georgia.
Now, we've talked a lot today about the college football schedule this weekend. Tomorrow, we make our picks. With all of these good games, I'm not sure whether or not David Moulton is going to go crazy. I don't know if he has a feel. I've not really gotten a vibe that he's got a lot of strong feelings one way or another. And after last week, when he struggled with his Saturday picks and did really well on his Sunday picks, who knows what direction one David Moulton will go in tomorrow. But if it were a baker's dozen at 7:21 when we make our picks, I would not be surprised in the least bit. I already know for me, having to whittle this down to 5 is going to be a son of a gun.
This is how close we came. I was 3-0 in the NFL last week until the Sunday night game. I had the points with the Giants. It's a good thing the Giants didn't cover, because I had already let Mark know if the Giants cover and I go 4-0 in the NFL, I'm picking all 16 NFL games week 4. So fortunately for everyone, Kansas City not only won, but they covered.
Because he was feeling it. He was feeling it starting 3-0 on Sunday. It's the Diamond District Bonus Hour brought to you by Jason and Todd. At the Diamond District, we finish things off with the good, the bad, and the ugly. Today was a day when and what's on tap. Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie John and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at pelicanroofingcompany.com. CCC 1332512.
Shoeless Joe's Sports Cafe, your home for all the football and baseball that September provides, plus a nightly food special. Got bingo and trivia Tuesdays and Thursdays, live music Fridays, karaoke Saturdays. Never mind the fact that Shoeless Joe's is going to celebrate Grandparents' Day, National Hot Dog Day, National Cheeseburger Day, all in the month of September. Food and drink specials during every NFL game. Shoeless Joe's, the official home for Ohio State football. Shoeless Joe's, good food, good times, good sports in the Doubletree by Hilton. Bell Tower Shops, Fort Myers.
Got a cracked window or foggy glass? Don't wait for the next storm to make it worse. Your local Glass Doctor Home and Business is just down the road and ready to help. From leaky frames to shattered panes, we've got the tools and the know-how to get your home or business storm ready. With flexible scheduling and our done right promise, you'll be in good hands. So before or after the weather hits, call your neighbors at Glass Doctor.
Glass Doctor, Glass Doctor. Call the Glass Doctor. We fix your pains. Oh, yeah.
Mark Miller for Sleep Treatment Direct. They are helping me with sleep apnea. And by helping me, I mean curing me. No more CPAP machine. No more snoring. No more tossing. No more waking up exhausted. Their expert team got me the right treatment, fast and hassle-free. If you want to feel energized and get rid of your snoring, call Sleep Treatment Direct today. 444-1741. That's 239-444-1741. Sleep Treatment Direct. Sleep safe and
This is Miller and Moulton.
Ooh. Money coming in on the Pirates.
Oh, by the way, I asked Whit. Obviously, it was too late. He said he would be more than happy to do StreamYard as well.
Oh, okay.
With people that are on a lot that I feel like that I talk to, it's like, I'll ask. All they can do is say no.
Correct. Okay. Uh, 7 a.m. on USA Network, Brad, is when the Ryder Cup coverage starts. 7 a.m.
Welcome to the bonus hour, brought to you by Jason and Todd at the Diamond District. And now, here's Mark Miller and David Moulton.
The home stretch, down the stretch we come on this Thursday in Jacksonville, Tampa, St. Pete, Fort Myers, Naples. Miller and Moulton, millerandmoulton.com, Miller_Moulton on X. Lee Sterling with his picks, Miller and Moulton with theirs, Pat Kerwin to break down a salty week 4 in the NFL, which gets underway later tonight. But that's all part of our show tomorrow. And live updates on the Ryder Cup, because this is a two-man show and one of the gentlemen co-hosting it will not be paying attention to the show whatsoever. He'll be watching the golf, so the least he can do is break all the rules and give us live reporting off of USA Network of what is going on at Bethpage Black.
It will be tougher than you think, though, because I won't do that to Pat, and I'm stuck doing the last segment myself for the most part. So, I mean, for 3 of the 6 segments, you have me for sure. The other 3, there are no guarantees, David.
Okay. All right, we'll see.
It's that time again, nearing the end, but not quite there yet. Here's Mark Miller with Today Was the Day When.
We start today with the traitor. Benedict Arnold defects to the British today in 1780. Congress proposes the Bill of Rights today in 1789. The Sequoia National Park is established by President Benjamin Harrison. It was California's first national park and the country's second. Yellowstone was the first, for anybody that wondered. Today in 1926, a couple of big things. This guy named Henry Ford announces the 8-hour, 5-day work week for workers at the Ford Motor Company. And what's really more important out of these 2 factoids from 1926, the NHL grants franchises to the Chicago Blackhawks and the Detroit Red Wings. Al Kaline at 20 is the youngest batting champion ever today in 55. The Hustler premiered today in 1961. One of my 2 favorite black and white movies. Probably my favorite, Dr. Strangelove, would be a very close second. Sonny Liston knocks out Floyd Patterson at Comiskey Park to win the world heavyweight title today in 62. Today in 1965, David, Satchel Paige pitches 3 scoreless innings for the Kansas City Athletics.
Okay.
He was 60. The Partridge Family debuted on ABC today in 1970. So popular that 2 months later, their song, I Think I Love You, would hit #1 in America. Also today in 1970, Janis Joplin records Christopherson's song, Me and Bobby McGee. She would die 9 days later. Today in 1976, Bono, this guy named David Evans, you'd know him as The Edge, and Adam Clayton respond to an advertisement on a bulletin board posted by another student, Larry Mullen Jr. They would form a little rock band. It's called U2. To many of us, rock and roll kind of died today in 1980 because John Bonham died at the age of 32, and that was the end of Led Zeppelin. Sandra Day O'Connor is sworn in as the first female Supreme Court justice today in 1981. And corporate America took over rock and roll because the Stones start their U.S. tour at JFK in Philly. The tour is sponsored by Musk, by Jovan, establishing corporate involvement in rock tours. Northwestern ended their 34-game losing streak today in 82. They would beat Northern Illinois 31-6. Les Grands Orange. Rusty Staub joins Ty Cobb today in 84 as the players who hit home runs as teens and in their 40s.
He did so with the Mets.
Today in 2000, I love this just because of the name. Le Dunk de la Mort. The Dunk of Death. Vince Carter jumps over Frederick Weiss at the 2000 Summer Olympics. One of the great highlights from Olympic basketball. And today in 2017, Tom Petty and the Heartbreakers end their 40th anniversary tour at the Hollywood Bowl in Hollywood. It would be Petty's final performance. He would die a week later. The last song played was American Girl. Phil Rizzuto, Barbara Walters, Christopher Reeve, and Michael Madsen from Reservoir Dogs all would have celebrated birthdays today. Michael Douglas is 81. Mark Hamill, 74. So is Bob McAdoo. Heather Locklear is 64. Scottie Pippen is 60. Will Smith, 57. Michael Douglas's wife, Catherine Zeta-Jones, is 56. Well done, Michael Douglas. Well done. John Lynch is 54. Chauncey Billups, 49. And Cade Cunningham is 24 years old today. What did I miss, David?
Do you have the Bill of Rights today?
I did.
That was at the very beginning, right? First thing you mentioned?
Yes.
Yeah, I thought that was, but it was Little Rock 9. I know you didn't have that. They went to classes for the first time today in Arkansas. It wasn't a big deal or anything. Eisenhower just had to call in an entire division and escort the 9 students into the school because, well, they were black. And, the folks didn't want that to happen. So, now, Little Rock 9, as it's known, was today 68 years ago.
Time to see life a little bit differently. Here's Mark Miller with the good, the bad, and the ugly. What do you got, Mark?
We've got a bird in Chicago, a parrot named Baby, who flew away on a camping trip. And fortunately, he was reunited with his family, thanks in part to social media and the local rescue group, the Chicago Bird Collision Monitors, were able to find the parrot and get it back to its owners. For the bad, we go to Massachusetts, where Taven Haywood is in a little trouble. It wasn't bad enough that he was stealing from Target with his female friend, and they had about $150 worth of unpaid merch when they fled on foot. Police were called, and they were ordered to stop, and that's when Tavon started downing sandwich bags filled with the white powder. Apparently, it was a bunch of blow and some fentanyl that he swallowed, so on top of the shoplifting charges, he has a whole litany of things he can go to jail for now. And finally, the ugly. We go to the friendly skies, well, at least some of them, American Airlines, where Kenny DeLone was accused of walking and yelling throughout the cabin on a Las Vegas-bound flight from Charlotte. She became so unruly during the trip that the flight staff was forced to restrain her with zip ties and duct tape due to her in-flight behavior. Now, I don't know if I ever want to be on a flight, David, where someone has to be restrained, but there's part of me that would really enjoy seeing someone duct taped to a chair on a flight.
Wouldn't you just want to come by and taunt them?
100%. Selfies. I mean, I just think of all the fun things you could do. Could I have a straw with my drink so I can help out Kitty here? That is the good, the bad, and the ugly on Thursday, September 25th here on Miller and Moulton.
All right, the Ryder Cup announcement is at 4 o'clock today. It's not going to take that long. We're going to find out the alternate shot, the foursomes that are going to tee off early tomorrow. USA Network, by the way, coverage tomorrow during the day, at least the morning. I don't know when they switch over, if they switch over to NBC at all tomorrow. In past years, they have late in the afternoon. They've given you a little 3 to 5 action on NBC. I don't know if they do that tomorrow. But the Ryder Cup starts on USA Network tomorrow morning at 7. I don't know if we're going to get a tee shot before 8, but the coverage starts at 7. They make their announcement today at 4 on the Golf Channel. All right, 12 baseball games today, 5 of them in the afternoon. These are the afternoon games with playoff ramifications. Pirates go for the sweep in Cincinnati against the Reds. I think you got to bet on the Reds. They've only been swept once all year. That was on the road against the Dodgers. Be amazed if the Pirates go into Cincinnati after the Reds just swept a 4-gamer from the Cubs and they sweep a 3-gamer from them. So Pirates, Reds at 1, Cincinnati a game behind the Mets for the final playoff spot. They own the tiebreaker. Dodgers and Arizona playing a mighty nooner out west, mid-afternoon, obviously in the east. Dodgers' magic number to clinch the West is 1. They win, they're the 3 seed. Diamondbacks are a game behind the Mets, like the Reds, for the final playoff spot. Diamondbacks own the tiebreaker on the Mets. They do not own it on the Reds. So the Mets don't own a single tiebreaker. The Reds own both. Speaking of the Mets, they're in Chicago to play the Cubs, trying to protect their 1-game lead in the wild card chase. Tigers and Guardians in Cleveland. Cleveland's beaten them 5 in a row. Tigers have lost 8 in a row. You got to think the Central's on the line today. Cleveland wins. They're 2 up with 3 to play, and they own the breaker. It's over.
It's over. It's over already. The Tigers may not win a game the rest of the year, David.
Detroit with a win would be tied with 3 to play, but Cleveland would own the tiebreaker. But if Detroit is not going to win a game for the rest of the year, that's where the Astros-A's afternoon game becomes very important, because Detroit actually leads Houston by a game for the final playoff spot in the American League, despite all of the losing they've done. And they own the tiebreaker on Houston. So the Tigers' magic number to make the playoffs is 3. Just saying. Jays and Yankees tied atop the AL East with 4 to play. Toronto owns the breaker. First off, Jays trying to avoid getting swept at home by the Red Sox tonight. And we'll be curious to see if they even play the Yankees game, because supposedly the greater New York metropolitan area is just a big wet mess today.
If they do, Rodon on the mound, minus 310 against the White Sox.
Don't you have to bet the Reds and the Jays today to not get swept at home?
I think, yes. I mean, I would bet Houston too, but
if by chance Boston sweeps the Jays, they clinch a playoff spot. Their playoff magic number is 1. So that's your baseball. 12 games, 7 of them with playoff ramifications. 5 of those games are in the afternoon, 3 of them with playoff ramifications. Thursday Night Football on Amazon Prime, Seattle at Arizona, and they're a 1.5-point favorite on the Cardinals. Mark, despite the stat that you unveiled earlier in the show, where East Carolina at home has not beaten a service academy in quite a while, the money is coming in on the Pirates. When the show started, East Carolina was a 4.5-point favorite over Army. Now they're a 5.5-point favorite over Army. 7:30 ESPN if you want some football.
2004, the last home win for ECU against a service academy. By the way, for what it's worth, all day USA tomorrow. 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. for the Ryder Cup on USA. NBC, same time Saturday, and then noon to 6 on Sunday.
So there you have it. Lee Sterling, Pat Kerwin, our picks, live Ryder Cup updates. And by live, we mean Miller and Moulton off the television, relaying them to you, breaking as many FCC rules as we can.
The FCC, what do they care these days?
Well, they care if you're on a certain side. So I don't know how we're going to work being on the other side into our Ryder Cup coverage, but we're going to need to work on it tomorrow. See you then.
Besides the sales experience at the Diamond District, we offer a litany of other services. Appraisals.
We have 2 GIA certified gemologists, full-time, servicing your needs with appraisals.
We buy gold, diamonds, gemstones, Rolex watches.
Repairs. We have 3 full-time master bench jewelers.
A beautiful custom design department so that we can give you one-of-a-kind jewelry. Come see Jason and Todd at the Diamond District.
Football season is back, and celebrate your game day with Jimmy the Beef Guy. We're talking tender, juicy Chicago beef sandwiches. Whether your party's for 10, 100, or 200, bring game day to your house with Jimmy the Beef Guy. The catering packages come with the beef, the gravy, the peppers, the bread, everything you need. 2 convenient locations, Fort Myers and Bonita Springs. Skip the ordinary and bring the beef. Jimmy the Beef Guy, Chicago flavor, Southwest Florida style. Call today or visit jimmythebeefguy.com. Tell him Miller and Moulton sent you.
Honey, you want to come out? I haven't seen you since Glass Doctor installed our custom shower enclosure.
No thanks.
Well, you can't keep eating breakfast in the shower, and laminating your magazines is getting expensive. You remember we have guests coming over tonight, right?
Oh, I'm sure they'd love to see the shower.
It's our neighbors, and I highly doubt they want to be hanging out in our bathroom.
The shower's so good, you'll never want to leave. Visit glassdoctor.com today and schedule an appointment online.
American Paint Supplies, for nearly 30 years, is your one-stop shop for all your coating needs. If you are a designer, a contractor, a professional painter, or a weekend warrior, American Paint Supplies is the place where experts go to get expert solutions. At 6100 Shirley Street in Naples off of Pine Ridge, American Paint Supplies delivers the best solutions with the best products with the best support. Meet Gene and his team today at American Paint Supplies. Call 239-566-2700. That's 566-2700 or online at AmericanPaintSupplies.net.
So I asked him at Floormeisters, hey, what do you want me to tell everyone for September? He says, well, tell them I just bought 100 pallets of Core-Tech. So I've got so much of it, I can keep the prices low. Plus, installation's always available. Delivery's always available. And tell them Floormeisters has colors, 15 of them that no one else has. Floormeisters in Naples, next to Costco, whether it's carpet, tile, or Core-Tech. The best flooring, best service, at the best prices. Floormeisters. Floormeisters.com.
Your roof is your home's first line of defense. At Pelican Roofing of Florida, Ronnie, John, and their team bring years of experience to protect what matters most, your family and your business. From residential repairs to large-scale commercial roofing, we deliver honest work, fair pricing, and quality you can trust. An upgrade on your roof can lower your insurance costs. Don't wait for a leak to turn into a disaster. Call the experts at Pelican Roofing today. 1-866-9-PELICAN. That's 1-866-9-PELICAN. Online at PelicanRoofingCompany.com. CCC 133255.
This is Miller and Moulton.